whether you're at home, on the go, or at the stadium.
Welcome to the Centre Bounce, your home for all things AFL Supercoach.
G'day guys, and welcome to another Monday night live stream. It's your boy Joe, and in classic, typical Big J fashion, the guy's got a sore tummy and he's on the toilet seat again. 2 weeks in a row, Big J defecating with a big poo. As soon as Big J comes back, you gotta drop the big poo emojis on Big J. Please, guys, you've got to do it. You've got to do it because 2 weeks in a row is just outrageous. Hope you're all having a wonderful evening. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Round 0, opening round, is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. It is upon us, and I hope we're all keen as a bean and all of our heads are hopefully exploding as to how much of this pre-season, how much of these pracky games can we read into it? That is the ultimate challenge. The ultimate challenge. How much of it is a fugazi, it's a wazy, it's a woozy, it's not real. You know what movie that's from? You're a legend. Mark! He's updated the profile picture on you, Mark. Guys, got a chip on my shoulder. Mr. J, love your work over the weekend. On your opinion of the practice matches for clubs to pick the starting lineups. Yeah, Big J did a very good job. He absolutely blasted through all of the games. Well done to Big J. Started this 4 hours ago. Same teams were in full strength. Collingwood, McCarran deal with Clarkson. Oh, mate. The fact that North struggled that badly against the Collingwood VFL side, and they were going all out. They were going absolutely all out. It was as if they won the flag. So, yeah, it's a long season for North. So back to my chip. Can you question where my chip is with comments made into stand for the view towards Essendon? I know one opinion West Coast got more love out of the reviews. Look, the Bombers, I mean, you could see that we were competitive for the first half and then second half sort of got blown out of the water by a better team. To be real, the Saints are a better team. The Saints are 100% going in to win it. They splashed the cash, and the Bombers are still in rebuild mode. And you could see in the second half, the Magnets were being all over the place with the Magnets, and our own coaching staff admitted that we possibly moved the Magnets around too much. But that just goes to show where the two clubs are. The Saints are refining their start to the season, whereas the Bombers are still experimenting, trying to find what our best mix is. So the clubs are in different locations from a build perspective. So that's fine. How bad was the last quarter? Oh, it was shocking. It was shocking. But at least there was drama. That's one thing it had going for it. Something Essendon was bad in parts, but due to player combinations, which was been taken out in the second half. Yeah, 100%. It was moving the Magnets around, as I said. Okay, you need not to show all these, but that's my vote for first time for a person who I think had a little bit of humility towards other team. Always good to show humility. Always good to show humility, Mark. Always a pleasure. No money this week. Good. No money. Save your money, Mark. Save your money, mate. Maltesing, good to see you. Hey, fellas, my head's about to explode. Oh, my God, Supercoach nightmare. Hey, just, it's all right. Whilst I'm listening to you, I'm also in the middle of a private draft at the moment. It's all happening. Just calm it down. Hey, I'm calm. I'm very calm because we still have the benefit of round 0. Thank God for round 0 is all I'll have to say. Give us a free look into a bunch of really important players. I understand. Look, if you have any questions and you want some assistance at all, please comment in here. Everyone will be more than happy to help you, Maltesing, to smash your draft. Pick someone duct tape Malt's head. Duct tape because it's about to blow off. Yes, I'm alive. I'm not very good with socials, unfortunately. What an intro. Did I stink it up with that intro? Maybe, potentially. But look, you come in with energy. You come in with energy, and you hope that it works. Is all 100%. Big J. Oh, he couldn't believe it. He could not believe it, Maltese. First thing he said to me when he was on the phone with me, North One. Yes, North One. That's exactly right. He is dropping a big poo. He's dropping a big Matthias. Jack, good to see you, mate. How are you? Good. Blackiston has entered the team. I have tried not to let these practice games affect my team so much because noise is noise. That's true. Noise is absolutely noise. And it's very hard to ignore, especially when more content creators start to have Blackiston in their teams. He's my boy. He is my boy. Those of you who've been here, you know, from the start, Lockie Blackiston has been my boy since day dot. And I really hope he works. I really hope he works for everybody, that everyone is a believer in Lockie Blackiston. What hops. You see him jump all over TDK? That was glorious. It was beautiful to see. And the guy, you know, he's getting better. He's getting better. And it's just as he builds more connection, more chemistry, more connection with the mids. Because our midfield got absolutely smacked by the Saints. They absolutely smacked us. That was a comprehensive smashing out of the midfield. So shout out to the Saints. They did very, very well. But I also have to give a shout out to Blackiston, who I think was our best on ground for most of the game until he sort of, you know, faded out. And you'd probably say Roberts was up there instead. So, but yeah, shout out to Lockie Blackiston. He's got the role. The role is there, mate. G-Bags, good to see you. Thoughts on whether Tristan Sherry is still viable given his price? Yeah, Tristan Sherry's a really interesting one, man, because let me just pull up the footy scores and I'll share the screen. I don't like just having my face here. It's unnatural. I need to share my screen. Sharing screen is my happy place, let's just say. So the Roos, yep, they got up by 1 in rainy conditions. In rainy conditions, where he had 20 hitouts, only 7 to advantage, against a matchup which would be favorable for him, because DCAM historically has struggled against Tristan Sherry. And despite that, there were more hitouts and to advantage by DCAM than Tristan Sherry. Now, I know he didn't play the full game. If I scroll across, what was his time on ground? His time on ground was 69%, a bit of NAS. But 69%, you know, he's normally a lot more than that. He's normally, you know, around the 80% mark. So there's clearly some more points open to Tristan Sherry. But for me, seeing that sort of output, seeing him continue to struggle in the CBAs, I personally don't think the price is justified for what you're going to get for him. That's just my opinion. I mean, he only won like 30% of the hitouts, basically, which is not good because he is a centre bounce specialist. So,
did someone say centre bounce? What is?
I did say centre bounce.
What's up, everybody? Sorry, I'm late. Hope no poopy emojis this week, but you know what can you do?
What was it? What did you say? You hope what?
I hope no poopy emojis. Like last week, all the poopy emojis were going off. We'll see.
We'll see.
I got something nice for my birthday. Nice North Melbourne hat. So in honor of North Melbourne winning and me getting a nice North Melbourne hat, there you go. Done.
Looks very sharp, Big J. Very sharp.
Oh, thanks, Initiator.
I love it, Initiator. Good on you, mate. So look, I was just answering this question about the rucks, and I personally don't think Sherry is the best investment at this point.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, right? I mean, you look at some content creators and they say, go the double ruck, we'll see what happens. It's going to be fantastic, yada, yada, yada. I think just in general, the rucks are going to have like a drop in scoring. So if you can manage it, that you've got enough to like go a cheaper ruck at R2 or R1, you know, Mick Andrew, I assume's on field somewhere. I think you'll be okay. There is, you know, a talk about how good Cherry and English's run is. And like they're fantastic. So you can go double ruck if you want to, but just expect Cherry to potentially lose a bunch of points. He'll be still good. He should dominate. I mean, he's versing Vicentini in round 1 and Jack Whitlock. So, you know, he should beat them up, but I don't think he'll come out and pop the 180s that we're hoping. He's not that good around the ground. Contested works great. Tackling and stuff's okay, but it's more his work around the ground maybe isn't as good as a Grundy or a Tim English. And with the game moving a lot quicker, I think that kind of causes a bit of issues sometimes. So, yeah. We'll see what happens.
He'll still be top 3 rucks, but he's just going to drop in price. He's not going to be able to match the output that he had last year because of the different game.
But the question comes in. Sorry for interrupting, Joe. The question comes in. It's like, hey, do I spend $690K on Cherry, or do I spend it on a LDU or a Sam Walsh and another rookie, or do I spend it on, you know, a Nick Dacos and save $70K, or do I get a Bontempelli instead and then get a rookie ruck? Like it's more just cash allocation / who's going to score me points on field, which I think is going to make the big difference. And, you know, the people that don't pick Cherry may be up 50 to 100 points every week. Or they could be down. Or they could be like, holy shit, Cherry's got a really good run the first 8 and he still pops out, you know, 150s. It might not be 180s, but it's still 150s. Yeah, it's just tough. It's tough when you don't have round 0 to kind of guys and have a look.
Yeah. English looked really good.
Yeah.
You know, you just know that the rules suit English. Grundy looked amazing. But then again, he was playing against a nobody. So TDK obviously sharing in the ruck with Marshall. Marshall playing more forward. But also TDK has a tough bye. Not to mention, I'm sure you've got a Nass or a Sinclair. You've obviously got Flanders. You've obviously got Philippou. There's quite a few players on that bye that you in that team you already have. So being a TDK on the adds to the stress for that bye week. You know, seeing a lot of people with dual rucks. I don't mind English Jackson. Don't mind English Grundy or Jackson Grundy.
Jackson would be the one that I would just stay away from, I think. I wasn't impressed with his game. And I think that he'll end up scoring close to 90, 100 every week. If not, Sean Darcy back, Mason Cox back, being the number 1 ruck, because we saw times in the game where Jackson was in CBAs, Joe, and Mason Cox was rucking. And it's like, well, mate, there you go. He's not going to get the ball. So, yeah, it's a bit of a issue, I think. I'll wait till he gets forward DPP, and then I'll pick him up.
Yes, Blackiston went out of the rucks. I agree. Blackiston was great.
I like that picture, Mark. That's a great picture, buddy.
A great picture. Flanders or Murphy Reed? Bro, you can't not have Flanders. Flanders is a non-negotiable, Mark. If you want Murphy Reed, it's in addition to Flanders, not at the expense of Flanders.
Yeah, you need Flanders. Yeah. Get both.
Flash, how you doing? How many mid-prices is too much?
Yeah, Joe, how many mid-prices?
Too many. Are they speculative, or are they? You're really confident in them. Like, are we talking about Parrish? Are we talking about young? These guys known commodities? Are we talking about Windsor, who you've seen now all preseason training on ball, playing on ball, and had the midfield minutes? Are we talking about Blackiston, who we know is clearly number one ruck? We've seen it now multiple times, and the commentary coming out about him is that the spot is his to lose. So, we're talking about these guys. I think these guys you can be pretty confident in starting those types of mid-prices. Are we talking about a McKercher? McKercher's, we've sort of touted to be a 100-plus type of average guy. Bruin, you've got the benefit of looking at round 0, see how he goes now that Baz is out, because he looks good off half back, didn't look so great as a midfielder. So if Baz is out, which we know that he is, where does Bruin play? If Bruin continues to play off half back, then that's great. Looking at Rouston, personally, I mean, he didn't score that great, even though it was rainy, horrific conditions. And you'd think that, what did he score? He scored a 78. You know what I mean? Like you'd think with terrible conditions and repeat stoppages that Rouston could have scored better. Same thing with Clary. I mean, those were peak Clary conditions, and he only scored the 83 as well. So I'm happy to watch another week of Rouston. Obviously, he gets round 0, which is cool. But Blackiston, Young, Parrish, Windsor, I think those are pretty good picks at this stage.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Joe. You've obviously got your guys who you think are going to be set and forget, like Flanders. And then potentially Young as well are probably the two safest mid-prices. It's really about looking at your team and being like, I don't want to give myself enough problems that if my mid-prices don't work, come round 3, round 4, I'm spending lots of trades to get rid of them. Give yourself 1 or 2 if you can. We should have an okay amount of rookies, unless you just go crazy and you go mid-price heavy. So in previous years, especially last year as an example, you would consider Short, Roberts, and Perryman as kind of that more expensive mid-pricer type. And the picks didn't work. They didn't make the extra money that we wanted. And we had to trade them out early. And the people that took them and didn't take primos really got stuffed. So you don't want to be that guy come round 2, 3, 4, 5 that's trading out mid-prices if you can. Supercoach is 100% a trading game. Your starting team should just be as solid as you can get. If you can get some small advantages, if you can get something up on other people, fantastic. But you don't want to flip the script too much and be a liability with your teams, because it can really come back to bite you. And you'll end up, I've got to downgrade my rookies and upgrade my primos and do all these things while other people are actually like making their teams better. So it is something to consider. I would probably have, let's say, 11 keepers if you can, and then maybe max 2 to 3 mid-prices, and that's it. And the rest of rookies. As long as you can nail the rookies, you should be scoring okay on field. It might be a little bit slower, but it kind of guarantees that by round 20, if everything's going well, you've got a few trades left versus going mid-price or heavy, it not working, and then you're really struggling.
Yeah, having like 11 or 12 premiums seems to be a good number. 12. If you get 12,
keepers, 12 keepers plus like upgrades or a couple of mid-prices is top notch.
Exactly. So that'll be really good. Got me an Essendon pod that make you proud, not reviewing it. An Essendon pod. It's not not a sack, is it? Or bomber banter. I'd also love to hear your thoughts on Blakey and Connor Stone as potential alternatives to McKercher and Kitty Coleman.
I really like Blakey. I think Blakey is going to be a top 6 regardless. So if you can put him into your team, this is what I was saying as well about McKercher is he trained this week. He should be ready to go in round 1. But the position itself is always speculative. He could go very, very well. He could score at his price. He could score less versus someone that you're locking in a position. So there's a world where we say, cool, Blakey and someone in your back line as a rookie, chuck him in there. You're saving yourself 2 trades because, you're going to have to spend 2 trades on McKercher potentially, and then 2 trades on Kadeem Coleman because it's him plus a rookie to get to a primo. So straight up, you're already saving trades by doing it. And maybe you don't have a scorer on field that gives you a captain, but Blakey should be still good for like 100. So, yeah, it is something that I really like. I think he's great.
Oh, we think Blakey's going more than 100.
Well, I mean, this game he's got 91, but yeah.
Well,
I think he's good.
It's tiny ground. Tiny ground.
I don't think he
with
played
horrific conditions. What was his time on ground? His time on ground was
91.
74%.
Oh, yes. Well, there you go, 74. So he didn't play probably. Just click on him. You can actually do quarter by quarter stats, Joe. If you just click on Nick Blakey. Yeah.
Where is he?
Click on Blakey.
Where is he? There he is. Blakey.
Yep. And then scroll down of that page. Keep going. There you go. So it actually shows how many points he scored per quarter. So, yeah, I mean, Blakey, it looks like he played the whole thing, scored about 20 points-ish per quarter. So, yeah, maybe he just rested a little bit in between. Instead of having, I know like Cherry didn't have like a fourth quarter, for example, or like potentially a Grundy didn't have a fourth quarter. So, yeah, it
62% disposal efficiency. That's not Nick Blakey. Nick Blakey's a lot more than that. Like you can tell, this was a very much small ground, rain affected, and that's part of the reason why I'm a little bit disappointed in Clayton Oliver, his output. Why I'm a little bit disappointed in a Ralston, for example. Tiny ground in wet, slippery conditions. Like this is supposed to be the inside mids' dream, and yet someone like a Blakey was able to outscore them, and this guy's a running halfback. So yeah, we love Blakey. We had him ranked very highly in our top defender video at the start of the preseason, and for a reason, because this guy's a gun and he's going to be the man. They've got Sarong down there to help out, and everything's being run through him. He's the man back there. He is their Sinclair essentially. So love the Blake, love the Lizard, and then Connor Stone. Look, to be honest, I haven't even considered Connor Stone at all as a pick. Where is Connor Stone even listed in Supercoach? Is he a midfielder or a defender? Stone.
He scored 40.
235k defender.
Yeah.
I think there's plenty of defender rookies that can even surpass that. You're looking at your Sam Grills, you're looking at your Jacques, your Lindsays, Sarong, even Wade Dirksen.
There's someone that George kind of talked about from Adelaide today in his team review video. Hugh Bond, 186k defender from Adelaide, looks to potentially have cemented himself in the Mark Keane type role. So it could be that sneaky pick alongside potentially Cook as someone to make you a bit of money pretty quickly. So scored 83 versus Freo in the loss, obviously, but yeah, it could be a good selection for us down back as well.
James Mackay. Hi guys, Herd needs a second chance to coach Essendon for the young list we have. No,
I don't mind Brad Scott for you guys. I think he's kind of learnt what he did wrong with North Melbourne, and has taken it to heart, I think, a little bit.
Brad's not going to be the guy that gets us over the top. Brad's our Nathan Buckley. Brad's there to instill values, to, I suppose, try and improve the players on an individual level, but then someone else is going to come and they're going to have the nous. They're going to be the great coach that can actually pull triggers and make moves and things like that. Brad, I don't see that from Brad. He's definitely the worst of the two brothers when it comes to the coaching department. There's always a bad brother and there's always a good brother. Like we've got the shit Mackay, the same way that, we've got the shit Mackay and we've got the shit Scott.
He was so bad, Joe. I think they were talking about it in the commentary. He did not have a touch in like the first quarter of the game.
He was horrific. He was
first quarter or first half. Like didn't have a touch at all.
Yeah, 87k does go a long way. Flash agreed. Out of SEN in Melbourne today, they mentioned that Blackiston is the best buy for this year. My boy. He's my boy. My boy, Blackiston.
The only issue I had with him a little bit was he did kind of die off in the second half of the game. I'm not sure what happened. I feel like St Kilda were like, holy shit, we actually need to defend against this guy. And then it happened. But yeah, that would be my only issue, I think, with him, is that he went from like 56 Supercoach at halftime. The first quarter was fantastic. It was on like 47 or something. And then he went to 56 and then he like scores 30 points in the second half. So yes, you guys did get beaten in that period of time, which would have, exacerbated the issue. But to just do nothing for basically 2 quarters isn't great.
Well, it doesn't help when you're giving away bloody 4 free kicks.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It's something ridiculous. And his disposal efficiency was only at 63%, so he can tidy that up. But like I said, again, they were playing on a low ground, playing on a small ground, not much movement, and he's the athletic type. You can see the way he was jumping, his ground ball follow-ups were quite good. He could run down players. I think when he has more room to breathe, more room to work, he can actually run off his opponent and create some space. So, yeah, I'm still a believer in Blackiston. He's still the main man. And
no doubt. He scored 46 points in the first quarter, 6 in the second, 8 in the third, and 18 in the fourth. Good old Blackiston. So
he's just trying to keep you guys off the scent. That's all.
Okay.
He doesn't want everybody to jump on Blackiston. He just wants to create enough doubt in people's
mind.
Trying
to tell us to be a pod.
No one pick Blackiston. He's mine. All right? Stuff you all. He's mine. How good was Grundy? Yeah, he was Superman. Grundy was awesome.
Yeah, fantastic.
Sherry will be just fine. He'll be just fine, sure. But at 687K,
yeah,
he's on.
Are you paying 687K for a guy that's going to score you like 115s every week? That's my only issue. He'll definitely have ceiling games. Don't get me wrong, but he's probably only going to average like a 115, just for the fact that rucks have kind of fallen apart at the moment, anyway. And we've got a couple of CCJ comments there, Joe, but I think CCJ, God forbid, might force himself into the team as well. So, yeah, we'll see. Trembath is a much better player, though. We should play Trembath, but I just have a feeling it's not going to happen.
Mark's saying to stop the season, the Roos won. Stop the season.
As Dom Toretto says, winning is winning, Doesn't matter if you won by inch or a mile. A win is a win. We should be okay. People talk about, we should have smashed them. It was only Collingwood's like B team, so many players out. And I agree, like we should have played a lot better. But you can only play who you play against. Like if Collingwood put no one on the park, well then they've got no one on the park. You can only play the team you can play. So
yeah, correct. For me with the double ruck, I don't know which 2 are going to be the keepers. That's why I'm going Ant McAndrew at R2 and move Sherry/Jackson to a Sinclair, who I know is going to be a keeper.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what I was kind of saying was I think if English was like 50K more expensive, he may not be as favoured as much as what he is at 600K. Versus like you could probably grab Cherry at 550 just for the fact that like he's going to drop in price, similar to Jackson and a few others. So it's just about who's scoring on field. Can you move the money around? And I think we're blessed by the fact that McAndrew is R2 for us. So Mickey Mouse run is probably the big reason why you're keeping Cherry if you're going double ruck, but expect a little bit of drop in scoring, I think, from it.
And no early buy.
And no early buy. And even Cameron was shit. He was versus Cherry. He did nothing for the entire game and only scored big when Cherry wasn't playing. So, yeah, it's pretty funny.
How funny, though, was Tristan Sherry in the pocket? Talking with the umpire. What's my line like? How should I go? Bro, Tristan, Big X, bless your big socks. But you were never going to kick that, regardless of what sort of leeway you were given.
you got to give them faith, yeah.
Faith. Oh, jeez, bro. That's delusion. That's not faith.
You see some of Jackson's missed shots. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, he left a lot out on the park. That's why I'm not too disappointed. $20 donation from Adamo Baldacchino. $20 donation if Big J starts Mason Cox. Are you starting Mason Cox, Big J?
We spoke about this last. If you caught the Freo review of their game in the Amy series, mate, I could. He looked really good. Sean Darcy doesn't do as much as what Mason Cox does for Freo. Now, I feel like they're going to play Darcy over Mason Cox just because of, hey, he's on a lot of money. But Mason Cox, 211 centimeters, hit outs to advantage because, like, the guy's 211 centimeters plus an arm plus a hit. He can still do stuff around the ground. And there were legitimately times when he was in the middle getting the center bounce and Jackson was as a midfielder in, like, that space. So, let's pretend he scores 70s. He's still making you 150K. And if you've got someone like a Tim English, then, cheeky Mason Cox DPP as R3 or something like that. Hey, come round 3, just chuck him on field as coverage for Tim English. So, yeah, it's not the craziest thing I've done. It could happen. Mate, for $20, I might do it because it's probably more than I'll win in Supercoach like this year. So, why not? You can always pivot to like a Liam Reedy come round 3 if it doesn't work and bank 100K. So, yeah, I don't know. Just something to consider. But I think he's got enough scoring and they've obviously picked him for a reason. He's not going to play VFL or waffle. He's going to play on field as much as they can. And they looked good with him in the side. Even if he's another forward marking target. He's just so tall and he's not that bad in front of goals that you need to put a defender on him. Otherwise, he will score goals on you. So, yeah, it's just interesting,
Yeah,
not saying you guys should do it.
He's only 226K.
Yeah, he's not ultra expensive. Like, it's not like he's like 300K or 350 or 400. He's actually a half decent price. So, yeah, I think we've lost Joe. Joe's yeah, you're currently stuck on my screen.
Huh. I don't know what I've done here, but
not sure. Have a chip on my shoulder, Mr. J, on your comments on one view over the weekend. Mark, let me know what I said that made you cranky. Also, Big J, I'm against you round 3 in the first. Nice. There you go. We'll see how we go. Jono, how you going? Jono, how are we? Are Freo really playing Mason Cox as the main ruck? Joe, maybe you might have to leave the room and then come back in. Had 30 hitouts versus Crom, Jackson 10. However, Jackson still averaged 113, even though Darcy plays. I think Jackson's... Oh, we've lost Joe there. Let me quickly pull up. Or maybe Joe will come back. I think Jackson actually averaged something like 97 without Darcy, like with Darcy in the team. So it wasn't like he averaged 113. I think it was actually quite lower. I think that, and I said it on the review, I think Jackson's biggest issue is that he's too good at a few different things. So they're going to move him around the ground as much as they can. If he was a little bit slower, if he wasn't as good as a forward or as a midfielder, like they've been trying to talk him up the entire time, I could see a world where that happens. But yeah, I got this sneaky feeling, and maybe I'm completely wrong. We'll revisit this come the end of the season. But right now, in the game they played this week, Mason Cox was number 1 ruck. Jackson was number 2. And Jackson was either in the middle or resting forward. So maybe that changes. We don't get round 0 to look. But yeah, that's what they're doing at the moment. They just want to get more midfielders. They want to move the ball. They want athletic players front of the ball and guys that can run. And right now, if you're a ruckman that stands still and you can jump, or you're really tall and you can get that type of advantage, then you're in the team. I mean, every team now is playing a second ruck. So, yeah, Super Sexy Flanders. There you go. Josh Lindsay looked really good. Yeah, Yeah, I think I would have liked to see a little bit more from him, but what can you do when your team gets smashed by double the points? Yeah, I don't mind the pick. Yeah, I would
I
have
think
loved
he's
him
at
to touch
122.
the ball a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, they were smacked, and they like giving the ball a freaking marriage for some reason. Like,
Well,
this
he played the
guy
role last year, yeah.
is so non-damaging.
Yeah.
I'm more scared of a spork. Like, a spork will do more damage than marriage. It's something ridiculous how much they love giving the ball to him. Where is he? Marriage. He had 22 disposals.
It wasn't great.
Or 70 points.
Yeah.
You know? Same thing with Lindsay. He had 22 disposals, but I like Lindsay. I do think he's the best kicker in the draft. He had a very nice goal, very clean. He just needs people to give the ball to him. He does have some deficiencies in his game. He is a bit unaccountable, but for 122K, I mean, they just have to play him. They're clearly in rebuild mode. They're shocking, to be honest. They're quite bad. They were destroyed, utterly destroyed by Port, who you don't imagine are going to be top 4 by any stretch of the imagination. And they had Juan Francis parked at full forward the whole game. So, yeah, not pick Lindsay. I'm pretty happy with Lindsay in my team at the moment. Hey, Jonas, how we doing? Set and forget rucks for me. Bromax at 1.36 million.
Who's Bro? Let me know who Bro is. I know who Max is. They're still in Cherry, but I'm not sure.
Brody Grundy, mate.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Bro Max.
Why would you not say Gaundy, bro?
Yeah, it's been Gaundy for like 8 years. That's why I got confused. I'm like, who's Bro Max? That's the first person I've ever heard. Bro Max. I mean, I guess it kind of works. You could be like a superhero, but I like Gaundy better.
Rouse at 40 points second quarter.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's even his score is overinflated just from one hot patch. D-Banks, I'd love to hear your thoughts on having McCarthy at D3. I'm also unsure about whether I go Fraser or Cozzy at F3.
You want to go first, Joe, or you want me to go first?
Sure, I can go first. I think I like Cozzy more than Fraser, personally, at F3. Always been big on Cozzy the entire preseason. He's just going to play on the ball, whereas Fraser, it doesn't look like he is that guy. Libba still looked sensational. Bond's obviously on there. Richard's obviously there. So Fraser seems to be the fourth one. And for me, I'm not entirely happy to spend up that price for the fourth midfielder who also has an early buy. So out of those two, I definitely prefer Cozzy at F3. And had he kicked straight over the course of this preseason, he could have gone 150 like the entire preseason, and everyone would be all over him. So for me, I'm definitely firmly on Team Cozzy over Fraser. The only reason why I think you wouldn't pick a Cozzy is because you're spending the money on a Petrarca. I think that's the only reason why you wouldn't go a Cozzy for the most part, because you're spending the money on an Uber Primo. I don't think you're fading Cozzy for another mid-pricer type option, I think. That's obviously not Flanders. Flanders is an absolute lock. So, yeah, I'm definitely firmly on Cozzy. In terms of McCarthy, I don't mind McCarthy as a pick, to be honest. No early buy certainly helps, should I say. It doesn't hurt. You're picking him because you think there's upside to his price. I mean, he was on a very nice score to halftime. I think it was about 70 points to halftime. So he was on track for a really big score. Obviously, copped a bit of a knock, had to go off the field, which then caused them to. So they started to get. Oh no, they were losing from the start. The Eagles. So he was performing really well, even whilst they were getting smashed. And that ultimately is what you were happy to see, because McCarthy was playing on the ball. He had the role, and him sort of copping a knock sort of took the wind out of his sails a little bit. So I don't mind McCarthy at D3 because you may be trying to think about Do I go with a McCarthy or do I go Kircher? So you're trying to find value there, and I think McCarthy's a very solid D3 option in my opinion. So I personally give it a tick. I think that's perfectly fine. McCarthy at D3, and I think Cozzy at F3.
Yeah. Excuse me. McCarthy right now is a no from me. The price is okay. The role is okay. It's just really hard to be the best midfielder in probably the worst team in the AFL. And you're going to cop a lot of attention. You're probably only going to get hundreds from him every week. And, that's okay. If you want to start doing that, that's fantastic. He's probably going to make you 20, 30, 40K. I don't think their early run is that favorable. I think they do play a lot of tougher teams. So, yeah, just kind of my feelings. I mean, they got smashed by Port, which is understandable. But, you're probably getting 100 average from him if you're lucky. And there was a lot of talk about him moving from half back to mid. What's going to happen? It's a real pod and it's a real punt. But I don't think he's going to punish you enough to say, okay, I'm not going to pick a Sinclair or a Naz or Whitfield or an Ash or somebody else over him because I'm going to get him at 50, 60K more expensive. That's probably going to be it. If you want to, 100%, chuck him in your team. He'll probably do well. He'll be a solid 100 every week. The only problem with him in the last game was if Joe scrolls down, he scored 46 points in the first quarter and then basically did nothing for the rest of the game. So it's a little bit tougher to kind of gauge what's up. His scoring wasn't the best. But, if that 6 turns into a 20, then, hey, he's called a 110. And now we're having that conversation. Maybe not.
I think he was injured in the third quarter. I think he was off the ground. I recall there was the injured symbol on him. I think it was in the third quarter, and he was off the ground. So that might have impacted him there. And so the 6 was a bit lower than otherwise could have been. But
the one thing that he's got going for him versus some other players is that he loves to kick a goal, and he can do it from outside 50 on the run. And it's something that a lot of players don't have. They don't have that strength to be able to do that. So in saying that, maybe he is a good pick. I wish that we had round 0 for West Coast. It's never going to happen, but I wish we had round 0 for West Coast just so we could get a little bit more of a gauge on a few of these type of players. But, just even having this conversation now, I don't think I'd put him into my team, but I can totally see a world G-Bags where you do, and you might get some half-decent scores from him. In terms of Fraser and Cozzy, we saw in the Hawks-Bulldogs game that even with the Hawks losing by quite a lot, Fraser just didn't get the ball much. They were loving the ball in guys like Sanders' hands, and I think the ball moves a little bit too quick for him. If it's a bit more of a contested game and he can handball the ball out and do that kind of stuff, then he gets a little bit more of it. But he just didn't score that well for me. And yes, we do get round 0 to kind of see. Maybe it was just a dud game from him. But the question marks that he's had in his game, and that's kind of if you look at historically his scoring, he'll score a 50-60 and then he'll score a 110. And then it'll be a 50-60 and then a 110. And it'll be a 50-60 and then a 110. So he's too inconsistent for me, and I think you'll be able to pick him up at 450K. Maybe Joe and I will do a bit of a video on it, but there were so many premiums during the Amy series, and we'll look at it in round 0, that started playing a lot more forward, that we might get quite a few primos come round 6 that are doing that. If not primo mids, ruckman 100%. Rowan Marshall is penciled in to be a ruck forward, just straight up. TDK's playing majority ruck, Marshall's not. We're going to get Rowan Marshall straight in there. So I think the idea of having to stack your forward line with these kind of mid prices in the assumption that you're not going to get a lot of keepers in the forward line that aren't the guys we can select now, I think is a little bit of a fallacy. I think that we're going to be able to get good premiums in the forward line. We just don't have access to it yet, just due to the nature of a lot of these guys resting in the forward line. So pencil in Marshall, pencil in a few other players as direct DPP come round 6. We might get a couple of rucks just straight off the bat. Luke Jackson potentially in the forward line as a DPP ruckman. So, yeah, you can pick Cozzy if you want. I wanted him to do more in the game. I think Petrarca for 20K more is a better pick. And I think Petrarca for 20K more is he's going to be top of the line pick versus Cozzy that kind of just looked like they versus Richmond. It looked like he was just running around with his tail between his legs, like just trying to chase the ball around. Yes, the game was like cut short due to the lightning, but it did look like he was just chasing the ball around. He wasn't that main guy. They were using Caleb Windsor a bit more. They were using Lindsay a bit more. And similar to Fraser, if he's not in that transition of the ball going to the forward line, similar to Latrell Pickett, he just wasn't touching it. So for that little bit more in a price, I'd rather grab a Petrarca who they're going to use him as much as they can because they brought him across. Maybe it is only one game's worth of sample size, but the only reason I'd pick him over Petrarca at the moment for that 30K price is the fact that he doesn't have the early buy. That's the only reason. So, yeah, I think we're going to get a lot of really good forwards this year. Fraser's that kind of player that Bevo likes to move around 100%. 100%. He'll get Bevo'd. It's just kind of how I'm feeling at the moment. I know his DR's like super pick and whatnot, but yeah, I'd rather have Rowan Marshall in my forward line than him, unfortunately.
Thoughts on Blemirid's security, mate? Or Blemires, whatever you say.
Oh, it's an interesting one. He's like jumping up in terms of job security. If I looked at North Melbourne and said, hey, 100% he needs to play, he's a really good player, he offers us something that we don't have. The only feeling I've got in my head is that we do have Hardiman to come back. I think Luke McDonald potentially takes a spot as well. And it's like, we've got these guys that have played in the team for however long, and then now you've got this guy who's just come into the side. Yes, it was an A game and whatnot, but he's not like a 3-4 a year established player in the team. I think he should play. I think he'll be fine. But I've just got this feeling in the back of my head that's just like North's going to screw us over and reward the guys that have been on the list longer than the ones who probably should deserve it. I would love if he kicked out Caleb Daniel for a spot, though. It'd be great.
Got a question here from Initiator because she's in a live draft at the moment. So whenever we see Maltese in comment, we're going to try and help her out. She's in a live draft, guys. Ned Reeves or Vizentini for the second ruck?
Well, Ned Reeves wasn't named. So
Vizentini.
That's my only issue, yeah. Port Vizentini, I think. Him and Matt Whitlock should play together. I think Sweet's on the outer. He just can't jump and doesn't do as much around the ground as both of those guys. So, yeah. Hey, rookie coach, how you going?
Great. Hey,
Mason Cox, bro. I love me Mason Cox. Chuck him in the team.
Also, Vizentini has a much better fixture for rucks.
Yeah,
hey, Mr. Spanky, good to see you.
What's up, Spanky? How you going, mate?
By the way, Spanky, tomorrow night we start with the members live stream. So if you are a member, we'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. We will be making the community team. Yes, sir. Community
and
team.
If anyone wants to become a member, it's only $5 a month. You'll get exclusive access to us on Tuesday nights for the members live stream, access to the community team. We may put out a few videos as well during the week that are members first and then open to everyone afterwards as well. So just kind of stay tuned for that. It's a good community, no pressure. You're still going to get the same content as everyone else, but it's just something extra for you guys that, want to be part of that community.
Geordie, another Monday night. Ethan, g'day. Parrish and Young, are they both still locked?
It was interesting for me because Young kind of fell out after that game, after the practice game, where he kind of didn't do as much in my eyes. And then versus the Crows, he kind of forced himself back into what would be my team. So it's interesting that that's kind of happened a little bit. Similar to the opposite, Parrish had a fantastic first game. And then versus St Kilda, he was just kind of like, I don't know what it was, Joe. Poor efficiency, maybe didn't do much around the ground, but he just didn't
terribly
have the
efficient.
impact. Yeah, just didn't have the impact that I wanted him to have at that price. Like, both of them need to score 90 pluses or even 95 in Young's case to actually be warranted in Supercoach, just because of, you spending a trade to get rid of them versus a primo. So, yeah, it's question marks.
48% disposal efficiency. Jesus.
Yeah. Question marks over both, I think, a little bit. I think you can play both just for the fact that they've still got really high ownership, so it's not going to hurt you that much. But yeah, I wish they both had round 0.
No, Parrish, his role is so clear. You know what his role is. He is a centre bounce mid. I don't need round 0. I don't need 15 rounds. I don't need, you just know exactly what it is that his role is. That's the reason why we like looking at round 0, because we just don't know what the roles are. So with Young, you don't know how much time is Young going to spend forward. Is Young going to get forward DPP? Because if he's resting forward, well, how much of the time is he resting? You've got Murphy Reed running through the midfield. You've obviously got
Young DPP,
DeRon, Jackson. Sorry,
if Young gets DPP,
yeah, 100%.
Great, good forward option for us. Yeah,
would be awesome. He'd certainly be a keeper for as long as he stays fit and healthy. So Young is the one with the more questionable role. Then that's the whole, as you mentioned, he was sort of out of your team before the Amy game, because you just wanted to see it all come together. With Parrish, I doubt he's going to have another game where his disposal efficiency is 48% and the club's just messing around with the magnets. It was just a pracky game. You know exactly what you're going to get from him. He's an inside mid. And I think you don't want to field rookies. You don't really want to field too many rookies in the midfield. I don't think they're great to field. I think outside of Jagger, you don't really want to field, maybe a Sharp. But, Sharp's only scored 63 himself, which is classic rookie score. But in reality, you don't really want to be fielding rookies in the midfield. You want to be fielding mid-prices and primos, and Parrish undoubtedly is a fallen primo. But we'll see more from him. I'm very confident we'll see more out of than 76 personally. The same way we sort of overreacted with a Young first practice game. It's literally the inverse. It's saying much for muchness. The role is still there. We're going to mention someone's hat. I actually got it for him for his birthday on Wednesday.
I got it for me for my birthday, mate.
Got it for his birthday. It's very, very nice posh hat. Wasn't about to get him an Essendon hat. I'm not that bad.
You didn't lose any bets.
Supercoach, God.
What's up, mate?
Returned. How are you, mate? It's been a long, long time. Hope you're keeping well. Hope you're keeping very well. Flash, would Walsh count as a keeper?
I think if you pick Walsh at that price, you're hoping that you're going to have him for the whole year. I think that's the same assumption. I think that's the same assumption maybe that you'll have with LDU, but we just haven't seen it as much. Similar to a Caldwell, I don't think you're picking guys at 520 hoping that, hey, look, they're going to make 80K and you can trade them off to someone else. Maybe you are, but that wouldn't be the assumption that I would go into it having. So if Walsh is a keeper, 100%. You're picking him because Chera's out for a period of time. Walsh looks good, full preseason, comes out and pops like a 120 plus on people's heads like no one's business. Versus Richmond early, no one's going to stop him. I think you're picking him and hoping that you can keep him for a very long period of time. Barring injury, of course.
I think I don't mind the Walsh pick, especially after, the last time he had a full preseason, he averaged 119. Now, I know, does that mean that he's going to average 119 this year? Look, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just simply saying a major reason why Walsh has been a bit of a burn man and probably has a bit of a bad reputation is because his body lets him down so much. But as we say here, you always want to start the injury-prone risk as opposed to bringing it in. And I think Walsh having someone like Jagger is huge for him. He's finally got someone else that can burst through, that they can work together with, and he's playing with a freedom that you've never seen him play with before. The way that he took those 2 running bounces out of the center clearance and kicked the goal from outside 50, something that it was a joy to watch. I know I'm an Essendon supporter, but you never want to see a person's career destroyed with injury so much. And a flying fit Sam Walsh is a joy for the league. And he did it with so many handballs. He did it with so many handballs against a very good team in the Cats. And the Blues have quite a good fixture for inside mids this year. So I certainly think there's value at that price, and you just play it by ear. Captain Flash. I think if he's going 110 for you or 105, you're not in any rush to trade him out. You can hold on to him for as long as he's performing that way for you, and I'd be bigger on him if he didn't have the early buy. I'd be recommending a lot more people to pick him, but yeah, it's really the body. He's had a full, uninterrupted preseason. That has to count for something, in my opinion. I'm actually willing to start the guy, and I might have him in my team at the moment.
Yeah, for me, it's a potential start. I think you're okay to have 1 or 2 guys from that round 2 buy because it negates how many midfielders you have from the other buys. If I could drop a Nando, for example, and grab Walsh and still have 80K, that might be what I potentially look to do. But yeah, it's just a big watch and see. In round 0, I think it's going to play a lot into that. Yeah, he scores better without Cherry in the team just because it's not like a false outlet they have to do. And I think the Blues in general, I mean, maybe we'll do a video on it, Joe, but the Blues in general look so much better because it's not just kick it to Mackay and Curnow in the forward line anymore. Look at all their goal scorers from the game. The majority of them are, guys who are running through the midfield, maybe running through the back line, guys that just aren't like key forwards. It's not just bomb it forward and hope the forwards get the ball. So these guys, I mean, Sam Walsh kicked a goal, Jagger Smith kicked a goal, Cripps kicked a goal. Both of the Hollands kicked multiple goals. This wouldn't have happened last year. It would have been bomb it to the 2 tall forwards, and if they don't mark it, well, too bad. And I think that kind of just more avenues of scoring for someone like a Sam Walsh now than what was previously there.
Yeah, it just means more score assists. It means more effective
scoring opportunities.
Less clangers. It's so important. Like I don't know if you guys been listening. I was a big proponent of Carlton trading out Curnow to stuff him. Like he's not great for culture, and a lot of the games because Carlton and Essendon had a lot of Thursday night games. And obviously, I was doing a lot of the live watch-alongs on Thursday nights last year. I was just appalled by his behaviour, by his attitude. Like he's completely stuffed up against Port Adelaide, and then was squirting water at Lear. You know what I mean? Just after he's stuffed up. So look, I'm all for it. The Blues did the right thing, and yeah, they look a lot more dangerous and a lot more exciting. Teasel, Petrarca, Reid, Philippou, Marshall, Doveston with Bruin in the flex with English and McAndrew in the ruck.
No, you need Flanders, buddy. You need Flanders. Like, as much as you might not like him, you need him. He's going to score 100 plus every week. You need him in your team. He's 390K. He's going to score really well for you. Forget the early buy. You need him in your team. Like, going anti-pod Flanders is not going to work out for you, unfortunately.
Thoughts on De Goey? And will Coleman Jones play?
De Goey's a no for me. Similar to the fact that it's multifaceted, right? I love that word because it just means there's multiple things going on. And I think in Supercoach, it's a really good word, Joe. I love it.
You do love it.
We're probably picking 3 primo forwards and hoping that we know that other players are going to get DPP early. So chucking those guys in there, not getting a Degoe. And our forward rookies are probably the best on field and the best on the bench that out of any line, even the back line. So why would you not take more forward rookies than other positions on field? I believe Degoe doesn't have DPP. I could be wrong. Give me one sec. Okay. So the DPP, you would have to play him into the forward line. Sorry, in the midfield instead of the forward line. But then is he going to kick out a Hayden Young? Is he going to kick out a Parrish? Probably not. So I just don't think it's a viable pick. I'm hoping Coleman Jones doesn't play. But some of the comments today by Tom Lynch, if you guys want to watch those videos, talk about how Trem Barth is fighting for a spot with Darling, and they don't really mention Coleman Jones at all. So I'm hoping that it's not a case that it's going to be Cherry Coleman Jones if he's fit, but I've got this feeling in my gut that I'm not happy about, that that's what it's going to be. So hopefully they found out, hey, Coleman Jones is shit and he's going to play VFL. But I've got this sneaky feeling that North Melbourne, look, our list managers and coaches and everybody, Clarko's done. Like, yeah, that without saying much more, I've got this feeling that he's going to be number 2 ruck alongside Cherry, that Trem Barth might fight Darling for a spot, whereas he should be fighting Coleman Jones for a spot because he can probably play better than Coleman Jones anyway on field. So I think he'll play, which is a bit dumb, but yeah.
There's a lot to play out. I don't know. I think Degoe, I might have mentioned it maybe, I don't know, a few weeks ago. I am keeping my eye on Degoe. It's a shame I haven't seen him play at all this preseason. So
that's another
round
thing
zero.
Too.
So round zero is going to be a massive watch. He just simply has to play in the midfield. And if he's playing in the midfield, then obviously that's great. And there's certainly upside at that price. But in the absence
That's a risk, bro.
of any preseason form, then I personally don't want to spend that much money on a speculation. You know what I mean? The James Marshall from the Lions, a good rookie bench option. Marshall
from
the Lions.
I
don't think so.
Let me just
Sam Marshall, 197k mid. I think there are certainly other people.
I'd take Marshall from Port as a good forward bench option. I wouldn't take Marshall from the Lions. He only scored 20 and played like 3/4 of the game, so probably not. He probably won't even get named in the actual team. Yeah, I'd totally go Todd Marshall though. I think he's somewhat redeemed himself, and just due to Port Adelaide not having good defensive players, I think they're going to play him.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so wrong Marshall, but thanks, James.
Legend.
What's up, Legend? How you going, mate?
Option is better: Walsh and McKercher, or Blackiston and the Bond.
Can you go Walsh and the Bond? That would be my only thing. I think the second one is better just because you get the Bond, and I'm a little bit worried on McKercher. I think he'll be fine, but I'm just a little bit worried on him, and that's kind of my feelings. If you could finish your team with Walsh, Blackiston, and Bond, I think you're doing fine. If I had to pick one or the two and say, okay, guaranteed scoring on field, which one is going to score more, it's probably the first option. But the second option obviously saves you a little bit of trades, I think. It's
I
a
prefer
tough one.
option one.
It's a tough one. Yeah.
Because Walsh, there's a world where Walsh goes 110.
Well, 110 plus.
Yeah, 110 plus. But realistically 110. And McKercher, there's a chance that McKercher goes 105, 110 as well. So these are two that you could realistically just pick and hold on to for the whole year. Whereas Blackiston, you're not holding him for the whole year. As much as I love my boy, he's definitely not a hold for the. He's not a primo, and the Bond at that price plus an early buy, no one maintains 700,000 plus. No one. Not even the Bond. So you can always get the Bond for cheaper. Blackiston could be your avenue to get to Bond. But no, I'd go option 1 personally. Doesn't have enough midfielders to fill up a clown car. Parish looked like a lost puppy out there. Give him a break. You love to hate on Parish. I know you, Jonas. Oliver gets a pass from me. Not in my team, but he'll get going. Yeah, he's definitely nowhere near my team. Paul, how are you, Paulie?
What's up, Paul?
How injured is Goulden?
He's not. He's not. I mentioned it in the team review for the Sydney game, but I reckon if it was an actual game, if it was the finals, if it was worth 4 points, they would have given him the jab and kept playing. He twisted his ankle. That's what it was. And I think just with the conditions that it was on the ground and things like that, they were just like, nah, we don't need you to play. It's fine. So he should play this week. He should play round 1. You've got no issues there.
Yeah. We'll play round 0 as well. Very happy with how some of my players play in the Amy games. You said round 1.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Nass, Rosie, McCarthy, Bont, Butters, Heaney, Parish, English, Sheasel, Cozzy, Flanders, Philip and Robertson all locked in for me. Love it. Love it, Geordie. Very, very nice. Yeah, Heaney, my boy, Hain Dog. I want to play. Bro, why are the buys so ass? Why are the buys just freaking filthy? Why can't I have my Sydney boys and Bond and Petrarca? Huh? Why can't I do that? Oh,
you can.
Sure.
Because
I'll be like a million points.
You just have to have good coverage on the bench to say, okay, I'm going to miss so many of these players that, Todd Marshall, here you go, cover Petrarca for a week. Who else have you got? Bunch of Port players on North Melbourne or whoever to cover, these guys out like Bontempelli and the Sydney plays and stuff. So there's going to be people who are going to say stuff round 3. As long as I've got enough coverage on my bench to cover these players, maybe I score a 1900 because I pick a good captain and then I lose out on 50 points. But, round 3, I'm a tiny bit behind the pack, but the rest of the year I'm fantastic because the early runs and how good the players are. So it feels like, Joe, last year we overreacted a little bit too much to the early buys, and now we're trying to go back a little bit on it. It just depends on how far back we actually go.
Yeah, but look who we're talking about. Bont, Heaney, Goulden, right? Bont, Heaney, Goulden. Those are 3 mids.
Yep. So and people have Anderson as well. People would have an Anderson as well because
English.
Yep.
Petrarca.
Yep.
Like there's too many good players.
5 good primos, and then maybe a Blakey in the back line if you want to do that as well.
And the Liz.
Yeah, and Sarong's out, so now you need to have like an actual player in your bench. It's question marks, yeah. It's like these people that are picking Grundy and English, and it's like, oh well, I just don't have a ruck line in round 3. Like, oh well, whatever. But that's what they've decided to do. So, yeah, I think you're going to have rookie coverage. It's only round 3. It's not round 15. But yeah. Done.
Stuff round 4. I want Nat Sinclair and Whitfield. I mean, it's true. You want all of them, especially with the St Kilda boys, because you've also got Philippou and Flanders.
Yep. And potentially a TDK. But yeah, I've been teetering around a little bit with a Nas, Sinclair, and Whitfield backline just because how good they are. I think Nas is a bit of a cheat code, and you're kind of forced to pick him. Sinclair's quite good as well. Just these guys that are locked in for top of their positions. Just that buy hurts, man. That buy really does hurt. But if they're the only 3 players plus a Flanders who everyone's got anyway, potentially you're okay. Just means that you can't, we're not getting Finn Callahan anymore. So we're not hurt that much. I've got 5 in the back line playing this week instead of 8. Oh, well, too bad. Who cares? If St Kilda's run is so good, Naz might just make up. Naz plus a rookie might end up scoring more than your backline player throughout the season. So, yeah, it could be very interesting, I think.
Derek
Dirksen.
speak of Dirksen. Right.
I'll have to check with Pommy and maybe we'll get him on just to talk about it. But it's my understanding that Dirksen is covering for potentially a Haynes or a Wiedering versus a McGovern. So I think they're okay to play both. I think Dirksen's similar to Blahirs. I think he's or Blamires, I'm going to call him from now on. I think they've kind of shown enough, and I think Dirksen's kind of done that as well. I would take Harry Dean out of the team before I took Dirksen out of the team, but they may just play both and say, well, like Nick Haynes, you're a bit old. So if there's an injury, we'll chuck you back in. We'll see. It's like Joe's doing stuff with his team at the moment.
Oh, I'm in a bunch of group chats, and I've only got 6 rookies on my field right now. Lindsay,
Nice.
Smith, Andrew, Philippou, Lombard, and Dev Rob. Rest of mid-price, so Primo's got 11 Primos with 10 keepers and a Walsh. Only caveat
probably
is
11.
Nash and Whitfield.
Yep. Do it, mate. You're going to laugh. You're going to love it.
Oh, the defender Primos, I mean, yeah, it's hard to go past Naz and Sinclair, I think, and Whitfield. I think those 3 genuinely locked in top 6 defenders. So you're starting with those 3, and you're laughing because I think Sinclair, no one's going to look at him twice when you've got Nas burning up the track. Nas might cop some attention for sure because the guy's the hottest thing since the sun was created, but he just goes forward and no one wants to go with him into the back line because he's already a really difficult size. He's like, what is he? Isn't he like 187, 188 centimeters? So he's quite rangy and athletic. The guy can take a screamer. Great at ground level. He's crafty. So no one wants to be one out with this guy in the back line. And if he was to lead up and push away from his direct opponent, good luck running with him. And the Saints are looking at him at every opportunity, regardless of where he is, that they want the ball in his hands. So those 2 guys will not be stealing points from each other. If anything, they'll be bolstering each other up. And then Whitfield, the run and gun, he is the orange tsunami, Lockie Whitfield. And the rules only help him out. And his fixture is quite favorable as well after his bye. So look, those 3 for sure. Is it Nas, Sinclair, Whitfield? Is it Sinclair number 1, Whitfield second, Nas? Regardless of which order you have it, I think those 3, you'd be pretty comfortable having those 3. Yeah. In terms of who would you say is next, Jez? In terms of the top 6,
number 4 is a little bit tricky. I think Ash probably gets there. Let me just quickly check the back line. Unfortunately, it is a bit of a case of the most expensive players. I would go your top 4 in any order really is going to be Sinclair, Connor Rosie, Naz, Whitfield. I think just the guys who are playing pure halfback, the ones that are taking kick-ins, they're just running for days and they can kick goals. I think it's going to be those 4. You could start your team with those 4 and just say, cool, I've got the 4 best defenders. Everyone else I'll upgrade. I'll be very, very happy. Stuff the buys. It doesn't matter. I think after that, it turns into a little bit of a case of, how does a Blakey go? Let me just quickly check who else is available. How does a Lockie Ash go? How does a Rory Laird? I think there's the next tier down. Your Rory Lairds, your Ash potentially, Bailey Dale when he's fit, Nick Blakey, potentially a Callum Mills if he's playing that kind of role. Even a Tom McCarthy, if he gets a bit more mid-time, could fall into that kind of role as well. So, I think it's an interesting question. If you could play the game and said, I'm going to lock in the best 4 defenders and say, round 4, I've got Flanders plus these 2 guys and a Whitfield, I think you'd be very, very happy. And it doesn't cost you that much in terms of money either. So it's like $2.5 million. That's it. To lock in the 4 best defenders. They're going to score you 100 every week. They've got massive ceilings, so you could get 600 points some weeks from 4 players. I mean, if you add up the score this week, right? Let's do a bit of a play around. Whitfield only played like 50% game time and scored a 55. So if we say he scored 100.
Small ground.
Whatever it was.
And
Let's pretend. So Whitfield scored 100, only played. Let me quickly check. Whitfield, 46% game time, Joe. 46, so not even 50. So let's pretend scored 100. Nazaya, 142. Sinclair, 125. What is that? 270 plus 300 is 370. And then your number 4, Connor Rosie, scored 155. So there you go, 600 points from 4 players, pretty easily. And that's with one of them scoring just 100. Now, that is going to go up and down, but you can lock in those 4 players and say they're fantastic. They're going to score you a lot. It's $2.5 million to finish your back line. Stuff round 4. And I think you'd be pretty happy. So, yeah. I'll let other people chase McKercher, chase Blackiston if they want, chase some other players.
Yeah, it's definitely a fantasy way to do it. The last 2 years winners, and however, just because you might have heard this before, past performance is not an accurate indicator of future performance or future results. So just because the last 2 years happened a certain way does not necessarily mean it's going to happen this year, Adamo. Because this year, someone here on the Centre Bounce will win the Supercoach. All right, you heard it here. All right, you heard it here.
I think as well, you can do it that way if you want. You just have to plan it really well and hope that the players you have actually do quite well. You can go mid-price or heavy 100%, have your whole team scoring 80s, no worries. And then upgrading as you go. It takes a really good super coacher to do that. And I guarantee you, most likely, the other guys in the top 10 that weren't last year's winner might have played a different way. It's about jumping on the players at the right time. Your Matt Rowell at super cheap price, your Butters at the cheapest price, your other guys at the cheapest price as well. So if you can plan your team to be able to do that, then fantastic. But it's really about limiting the liability in different positions to mean that, hey, the only upgrades I need to do is for my Parish Youngs, Tanner Bruin, all making 150 plus K in the midfield, grabbing these guys at a cheaper price, looking in other positions. So yeah, it's just kind of how it works, I think, a little bit. Just have to be a bit lucky too. And I imagine he would have had like 5 or 6 fantastic keepers or captains throughout the year as well. And just like, hey, I've just gone cherry for the first 5 weeks as my captain. Like, it could just be how it was. So, yeah.
Very nice.
I would play the game that you're wanting to play versus the game that's like saying, oh, someone else did that, so I'm going to do the same. Because as Joe says, every year is different, but then every playing style is very different too. And you have to be willing to take on that amount of risk. It could work out fantastic for you, Damo. Like you could just come out and score 200 points more than me in round 1. Fantastic. You could smash me by round 10. But you have to be able to willing to take that amount of risk on field versus some other people.
Absolutely. Geordie, really keen to see Walsh this week. He's one that could come into my team if he has a similar game to his Amy game. Absolutely. Love me some Sammy Walsh. I think there's value. Certainly there's value there. Supercoach Killer. G'day, mate.
What's up, mate?
Don't kill any of us here, please. We come in peace. We come in peace, please. No love. Peace and love at all times. Geordie, I'm warming up to McAndrew at R2. The midfield rookies, no, they did not. I think it might be better to go with 4 premiums with Young, Parish, and Bruin than have Jagger. Yeah, I'm still, I'm a little bit concerned about Bruin as a bit of a trap sort of thing, but the benefit is we get to see him in round 0 for real. So, yeah, happy to be proven wrong, but I'm also getting a free look, which doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah, I think the role's there. I think similar to a Collingwood, Joe, Geelong need to start blooding the youth a little bit. And guys like Tanner Bruin coming in, Jai Clark, and a few others going to start taking a bit more of the role on field. So we'll see a little bit more from these kind of players throughout the game. And if they give him his hand,
Sorry to
they
interrupt.
give him the ball, then fantastic.
Do they really want the ball in his hands instead of someone like Lawson Humphreys? You know what I mean? Like,
he played backline with Lawson Humphreys. Both of them played that role.
Yeah, I know, but surely you'd want the ball. Surely you'd want the ball with like Stewart or Humphreys.
Yeah.
Like actually,
Stewart's not. Stewart's not halfback though. Stewart wasn't playing halfback. I don't know. I think they're happy to blood the kids a little bit and see what happens. Really,
we'll see in round 0. Ian, Big J, we North Melbourne are terrible, awful when the heat is on in the first half and rely on teams running out of steam to get back into a game.
Yeah, we need to have a real think about game plan as well because we seem to handball ourselves into trouble all the time. There's points in the game where we'll do 10 handballs, getting slowly further and further congested, leading to turnovers versus when we should just move it forward. So that's 100% game plan. They look at it and they get scared and like, oh, hot potato. I won't want to touch it. I'll let you touch it. And it just causes big issues. And it's one of the problems with Clarko and half of the coaches that he's got in the team. So I think something really needs to change. Maybe it's a Clarko leaving. Maybe it's a few other players leaving and things like that. But yeah, like game plan 100% has to change. If we run the ball forward, do whatever we need to, fantastic. But it's when we start getting panicky, that's a big problem, Ian. And I saw times during the game where we literally were in the forward line, Joe. We should have gone for goal, but because we didn't want to give up possession or drop it, we actually moved the ball back to our defensive 50, like attempting to switch kick out or attempting to do something. And then we lost the ball and then it ends up being a Collingwood goal. And it's like, what are we doing? Why are we not like just acting on the possession? It's the stupidest thing ever. And they slow the ball down too much. They'll get there, they'll push it forward, and then Jai Simkin will stand there and say, no, I'm going to stand here and wait to set up again. It's like, just kick the ball, mate. It's trouble. So hopefully that stuff gets itself figured out, I think.
Globes, good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well.
Globes?
I've toyed with it. Clock's also dead cheap. Yeah, it's true. Very dead cheap. Hexer is there. I can't believe I'm doing this. LD Spew as my pod. First 6 odd weeks look good. He is gonna either go big or disappoint me. And are you really all for disappointment? Hexerism. Are you really all for disappointment? I wouldn't do it.
His first couple of games are almost worth taking the punt. And it's beautiful the fact that Carlton have a round 2 bye, because I can totally see a world where LDU plays the first 3. I think that's going to how it works, or at least plays the first 2. You know what you're going to get for him. Come round 3, if it doesn't work out, 20K equals you Sam Walsh. So maybe that's the way you play it. But if you don't, like, how can he not have a good game against Port and then plays? I think we play West Coast round 2. So I mean, if you can't do well against West Coast the way that they're playing, maybe you shouldn't be in the team. Is a good way to look at it. So there's escape plans 100% for him. Just a bit of a watch and see, I think. Or if you really don't like the pick, play the first 3 games. We play Port. I think we play West Coast, and then it's you guys, Joe, in round 3. And then round 4, you just go straight to Petrarca. So it could work out that way as well for you. If Petrarca's on a fire. So, or you could go down from Walsh to LDU if you really want to. But there's escape plans for it. His first game, the practice game, wasn't great. It was really shit. He definitely stood up in this game. Just his talking, I mentioned it in the review about, I know that when I go out on the field, I'm one of the best players. And for once, it actually looked like he was trying and he cared. So at least that's something for him. It's something we haven't seen for a long time, really.
True. Exactly right. So, hopefully this is the year he does pull the finger out.
North needs him to. Gosh.
What Big J wouldn't do for $20. We'll see on Sunday. Indeed. Jackson's just a taller Jaden Short. Oh, get out of town. Come on, Nishiata. Joe on the bottom. Yep, just like Roos above the Dons this year. All right. That's a call. Roos above the Dons this year. Hi, Big J and Joe. Okay, Michael, good to see you.
What's up, Michael?
Yes, Essendon performance on the weekend, and you comment that I believe the second half Essendon happened due to looking. So yeah, you were being very critical of the Bombers and saying how shit we were, blah blah blah. When in reality, it was just magnet moving, and we were experimenting. It wasn't what our team will actually look like.
It was Brad Scott then.
Yes, it was Brad Scott entirely. Correct. TDK's I'm really keen to watch this week. If that ruck split between him and Marshall looks good for TDK, then he'll be a pretty decent R2.
Yeah, it's just the early buy, right? Can you afford to have him and Flanders plus a few others in there? He played, if you look at the ruck contests themselves, beautiful thing about footy schools, Joe, is that you can actually look at how many like ruck contests they actually attended. So if you click on,
yes.
So if you look at it, how they played last week, obviously guys are on the bench and things like that, so it affects it a little bit. But thanks to Tatum's for giving me the shout out on the review as well, letting me know, hey, should touch on things like this. Ruck contest 52 for Tom DeConning, had 24 hitouts out of 52. And then Rowan Marshall attended 35 and had 9 hitouts out of 35. So Blackiston definitely beat up on Marshall a little bit more than he did TDK. Yeah. But if you look at that kind of together, it's like a 60-40 split. So that could potentially be how it's looking at.
Well, yeah, DeConning, he Blackiston's a mobile athletic ruck, but there's very few in the comp as athletic as DeConning. Like he's a specimen, this guy. He's big, he's strong, and he can jump. So yeah, we were all wishing, weren't we, that Marshall went to Geelong. And we would have picked both of them in a heartbeat, DeConning and Marshall. But yeah, will be interesting to see how that goes.
Guys, if you haven't already, smash that like button, smash subscribe. We are trying to get to 3K plus subscribers throughout the season / pre-season heading into this year. So if you guys can, if you like the content, we'll be here all season. Live streams Mondays and Thursdays, regular content throughout the season too. So jump on there, smash that like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, Toby Grain. Yeah, absolutely. Toby Grain's actually, he's an interesting one for sure. Playing higher, playing on the ball, which is really impressive. Obviously gets to contested possessions. Quite a few clangers and disposal efficiency will be asked. But then again, it was a small ground, 8 tackles. Again, and guys,
it was hella wet.
Exactly. The wet
got stopped at 3/4 time.
The wet small ground helps immensely for these inside mids with their contested possessions and their tackles. So I'd love to see him again in round 0. See how he goes. I don't really want too many mid prices. I definitely prefer to play more guns and rookies this year round, with just a couple of exceptions that I'm really bullish on. Toby Green, you just know as soon as someone comes back from injury, he's the first one out of there, straight into the forward line. So what's the
Daniels is out for like a month, I think. Brent Daniels. Okay. Yeah, he's out for like a month. Callahan may be back like round 2, I think, or potentially could be back round 1 / round 0. We'll see. Green is obviously out for the year.
Let's see, do they have an injury? Where's their injury list? Matches, teams, latest.
Club. Let's go through all the options, Joe.
Do they not have an injury?
They must not.
News, video, podcast, photos.
Maybe they just rely on the AFL one.
Teams. No. Club. Bro, this is ridiculous. All right, maybe it's in the news. Let's have a look at the news. Come on. Match report, giant history, team selection. Welcome, Kurno. Yeah, okay, good to know. But what's your injury list like, mate? Ralston sees his moment. Yeah, good for him. Giants injury update. Let's have a look. When was this? The 16th of Feb.
That was like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. That's all right. Finn Callahan will miss the club's 2 preseason matches, but is aiming available for opening round clash with the Hawks. So, Finn could be back. Finn could be playing this week. For all we know, we might not get tomorrow. So, Finn is probably back very soon. And you know what that means? It means Toby is gone, skis. All right? Toby is out. Oh! What is this? Captain Flash! Welcome, Captain Flash, to the coach's box, mate. Welcome aboard. Thank you for your support, you absolute legend of a bloke. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow night for the member live stream and love your input into our community team. It will be very nice. Very, very nice. Good stuff, mate. Jez, Captain Flash has joined the coach.
Hey, Captain Flash. Thank you very much, buddy. You've been keeping up, guys. If you haven't already, jump onto Captain Flash's YouTube channel. Give him a sub. Let him know that we sent him. Lots of good content coming out from him this year. And Joe and I were talking off air, another young, well, I'm going to say young in terms of age of YouTube channel. I don't know how actually old you are, but another person who's jumped on the YouTube train this year, Joe. There's been a lot.
100%. So, as soon as I did give him a shout out in one of my videos. Obviously, we love supporting our own. We love supporting others here. We love collabing, and more than happy to have you back with us, Captain Flash. You are a superstar. Kobe, good to see you too, mate. Hey, my favorite 2 legends. Oh, thank you very much.
Thanks, Kobe.
So glad to see you. Sorry, got on late. It was just fixed. Oh, mate, don't worry about it. Nothing to apologize for at all. Yeah, rookie coach, good to see you too, mate. Evening, lads. Worrell, McKercher, Bruin, and Windsor. Pick 2. Oh, brother. What are these options?
I really like Worrell. I think he's going to get a lot of the ball in the Adelaide's backline. I know the joke is that I called him and Saligo the same person, which is always great because that seems to happen. Dylan and Darcy Moore, tell you what. I think he's going to do really well. Seemed to take a lot of the kick-ins and had a lot of the ball down back for Adelaide. Now that Mark Keane's kind of fallen to bits. He got injured, obviously. I would say McKercher is going to be good, but if I had to pick like one of the more expensive guys and then one of the cheaper guys, I assume that's how you've kind of worded it, I would go Worrell Bruin, I think. The only reason why I'd pick Windsor is he plays an extra game than Tanner Bruin. But you get Tanner Bruin to look at it and say, hey, like we know how he goes in round 0. He's going to be okay for us in Supercoach.
They're all different prices, though.
Oh, yeah.
And
not by much.
Bruin's in the midfield. Bruin and Windsor are like 280K. So I think the question is one of Worrell and McKercher and one of Bruin and Windsor. Yeah, so look, I think Caleb Daniel exposed himself for the fraud that he is at this point and the liability that he is for the North Melbourne Football Club. So I really hope if McKercher comes back in that they feed him the ball and not Caleb Daniel. If that is the case, then I'm happy to go with the Kirch. And out of Bruin and Windsor, I just think they have to play Windsor in the midfield. Like they've got injuries and people that are out of the side now. So I think Windsor looked really good, was dynamic, line breaking. He's just what they need in that midfield, and he'll benefit from having someone like Jack Steele feeding him the ball. And Jack Steele, obviously, experienced campaigner, really good reader of the ball. He's going to have, obviously, one of the GOATs of all time, tapping the ball down to him. So I'm happy to go with McKercher Windsor as my 2, personally.
Well, we've done different picks again, Joe.
Indeed. We are not yes men here. We have our own opinions. Cyril McCarthy is an upgrade target of like 450K as opposed to a Sicily or a Stewart. Sicily's done. You never pick Sicily ever again.
I wouldn't be picking Stewart or Sicily regardless. I think there's better players.
I think McCarthy will be good for 100 plus most weeks. Won't have the ceiling, but will have enough consistency with his scoring. And I'm happy to pick a D3. If he scores 105, happy to hold him for the year. Really, if he goes 105 with no early buy, like you'd rather him go 105 than Blakey going 110 with a buy. It's basically the same in much for muchness. So with him not having a buy, it's certainly really good. SC12-1I5Q. Evening, gents. Thoughts on going McKercher at D3 with a rookie at D4 or Blackiston at D3? Oh, jeez. Blackiston at D3 is very light.
Yeah, I think that's extremely light, to be honest. The backline in Supercoach is in a weird position, and I think the AFL, maybe not, weird position is not the right word to use, but it's in a weird position where the ball is always used off halfback. That's where the distributors are. That's where typically the guys outside of midfielders are the ones that are going to get a lot of the ball, right? I think you're doing yourself a disservice by going super light in the back line when you've got guys that are either appropriately priced or a little bit cheaper than what their price should be in the back line there. Like you can go Windsor and Blackiston, fantastic, but you're missing out on 1, 2, 3, or 4 guys who are probably going to be 60, 70K more expensive by the time you want to bring them into your team. Their role will be there and everything like that. So we've seen like Blackiston at D4. I would go in your team, Blackiston D4 and Windsor D5, if that's what you're going to do, and then just run like Dirksen, run Sarong, run Lindsay as your 3 rookies in the back line. Just do that. And I think you'll be much happier and you'll score more points because if I look at my team, Connor Rosie is probably going to outscore a lot of the midfielders at the same price. Jack Sinclair at 606K is going to outscore a lot of the midfielders at 606K. So are you going to get like a rookie from that position or are you going to grab the guy that's going to score you a little bit better? And you're set for life with that kind of selection as well, I think. So, yeah, just something to kind of think about a little bit when it comes to allocating money and whatnot. But I wouldn't go super cheap in the back line. I think you're killing yourself in terms of points and points lost. Even a Blakey. I think Blakey's going to outscore most mids at that price. Yeah.
My boy wins. No, Windsor is not a pod anymore. Well done for picking up on him, legend. I fear my boy Blackiston might not be a pod either. So, yeah, we're both in the same boat here. Okay, guys, this Saturday in Sydney, one of my horses is running. Okay, there you go, guys. We've got Mark's back. Here we go. This Saturday in Sydney, one of our horses running, race 7, number 15. Unleashing his.
Yeah, gamble responsibly. Put $5.
If you're going to gamble responsibly. Imagine what you could be winning instead. You win some, you lose more.
You could get yourself a membership to the Centre Bounce for $5 straight.
That you could. Petrarca's not good anymore. Just pick Cozzy and have fun watching his 30-5 goal.
Oh, yeah, totally. But I don't think 35's happening.
That's right, Ian. Pat Jordan, slap with Parrish. Yeah, absolutely right. 100%. McCluggage, thoughts on the human suitcase?
I really like him. I think he's going to do the same thing as what he did last year. I think he's just going under the radar a little bit just because of that round 2 bye. But if you want a super pod that is just going to do really well for you, I think you're going to be fine. This guy scored 91. Now, Joe, 91 off 45% game time.
Very
91. He had not 91 off 45% game time. It is ridiculous. He's their guy who delivers the ball from the midfield to the forward line to the good forwards. He'll still be doing exactly the same as what he did last time and did last year. So pick him if you want to. He's just not a selection that people have really talked about, like at all. But if you want that super pod, maybe you're not keen on Anderson or you have too many round 3 bye players, chuck him in your team, and I don't think you'll be sad about it. 45% Tog, scored 90, like not 92, sorry, 91. He's a very good player, and he can kick goals through the midfield now. So there's no real negatives about the selection at all.
He's just a very unsexy pick.
Well, yeah, until he drops 140 on your head.
That's really all it is, and the fact that he's got the round 2 bye is
I don't mind
play
it.
round 0. He'll play round 0. We'll play round 1, and then he doesn't play the third game till round 3. You know, so there's no price rise, and he's only playing 1 week because round 0 doesn't count. Remember, so he only plays for you round 1, and then already he's on holiday. So round 2 is a little bit annoying in that respect, that you don't get a price rise and you only get 1 game out of him. So there's still plenty of time.
I think Brisbane have the easiest run too. Their run's like.
Well, Brisbane, of course, have the easiest run because they don't have to play themselves.
That's true, I suppose.
Because Brisbane are the toughest team to beat. And if they are Brisbane, they can't play themselves. Everyone else is easier than they are. So it just makes sense for the Premier. So, yeah, you can't go wrong with Huey. No one ever puts any attention into this guy. And how can you when you've got Neil, Dunkley, Will Ashcroft, him? Like, you can't sacrifice a player on your team to tag. Because if you do, you're screwed. They'll get you a million different ways. Yeah, well, day cost you would imagine is going to be M1, M2. You know, So he's day cost. You know, I think you're sort of happy. You don't mind starting Nick because of just he'll make up the points over the course of the season because the guy is going to be M1, M2, M3, regardless of the order. You know, if it's between him, Bont, and Butters. You know, so is McCluggage going to be that kind of mid potentially? Walsh, unlikely to be that way, but he's a lot cheaper. So there's So you're picking Walsh because there's value in the selection. Day cost, you're picking him also because there's value in the selection because he sort of was injury riddled last year a little bit. So there's upside to both of those guys. Whereas I feel like with McCluggage, what's he priced at right now? Isn't he? He's basically full price.
640, I think.
Yeah. So what he's priced at is what you're going to get from Huey. He won't let you down.
He's the third most expensive player.
Yeah, third most expensive mid. So yeah, he won't let you down. You'll pay for him, and he'll give you that service. But Dacos and Walsh, you would be anticipating there is upside to the price, and you think that upside therefore warrants the bye week in round 2. I know there's a lot of people, content creators, who are messaging throughout the moment that people have got they're thinking of starting Noah Anderson to capitalize on rounds 1 and 2, and then on their bye in round 3 to trade to a Nick Dacos type. You know, so I'm personally not one to do that personally. I don't like planning to trade out my primos early, but people can do that if they want. Good lads, missed you boys, mate. We missed you more. It's good to see you back in the YouTube circles. Looking forward to seeing you post more, mate. Centre bounce beanie win.
Look, beanie and a scarf can be potentially in the works. It's just it's something Joe and I have spoken about a little bit, going a bit more commercial. And it's just like, would we get enough people that want to actually buy it for us to put in the money to be able to do it? Because it's not something that we can just do print on demand. Like, we'd have to buy 50 beanies and then 50 scarves and then sell it in the shop that way. So potentially we'll see what happens maybe this year, but it is up to otherwise we're just going to keep them in the garage, Joe. That's about it, hey.
There's that side to it, and there's also initiator the side from me, from my perspective, that I don't want us to become like, I don't know, like sellout is a strong word. You know what I mean? Like I don't want the vibes to change. I don't want the feeling to change. I want us to all be mates and to have that positive, fun community. I don't want you guys to think that we're doing this or our intentions have changed to try and make money from you guys. Like we're all in it for fun. We're all in it to try and win it, and we're all here trying to support each other as best we can. And I always get a little bit like, sort of, if we make merch and people want to buy it, trying to get people to buy our merch, does that come off as us trying to, to get more money out of people? I've always been a little bit not sure personally when it comes to content creators and making merch and things like that. So, but obviously, entirely up to you guys. As Big J says, we obviously would like to know, if you guys want to purchase something like this to support the channel, then absolutely it's something that we can facilitate. There are obviously avenues to do that, but ultimately it comes down to you guys if that's something that you'd like to do. If we get enough interest, then yeah, why not? But yeah, it's entirely dependent on you guys, because we're a channel trying to provide you with content and information and things. And so whatever you guys want to happen, we're entirely in your hands. Entirely in your hands. Mr. Spanky, D4 LDU, D5 Lash, D6 Lord, McLash. Lash? Who's Lash in D5? Not Blackiston. No. D6 is Lord, D7 is Smith.
I think he means M.
Probably confusing me here.
I think he means M. M4, M5, M6.
Oh,
M7.
new phone here. M.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Thank you. The M4 LDU, M5 is Lash.
And then Parrish was there as well. Sorry, and then
Who's Lash? I mean Walsh, I think.
Maybe.
So D4 LD, M4 LDU, M4. You've been spending too much time around Mark, bro. Devin Smith. Oh, Jesus, that's the name I haven't seen in a long time. Devin, stop yelling at me, Devin. Bailey Smith is injured, bro. You can't be picking him. Damn Young is there. Yes, he should be there. McCluggage started last year 528K, around that price. Well, now 528K.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he deserves it. He's a gun. DJs, Walsh's back history scares me, but I'm taking the risk early. Well, that's what you do. You start the risk. You don't trade him in.
Yep.
Hopefully he'll be Chera. Oh, nah, he's a better player than Chera. For sure. If he's fit and healthy, he's definitely better. Trembath has to play. Yes, Causa. Good to see him, man.
So too. I think so too.
I wish the best for Walsh, as do we all. Looking back on it, the current role go down as best trades of all time for Carlton. 100%. You get pieces for the now and pieces for the future by trading out someone who doesn't want to be there. 100%. 100% Flash. They had to do it, and I think they got enough out of it. They got enough Swans players to make Carlton Sydney again. You know what I mean? They've got enough out of Sydney to bolster their team. Hey, what's this? Maltesing. T-shirt with the best Supercoach picks Joe has made. Lol.
Done.
I'd make a Set a Goat T-shirt. I'd make a Set a Goat T-shirt. Would you buy a Set a Goat T-shirt, Maltese?
We could get AI to make so many of these things, Joe. Just be like AFL puns and then put them on shirts. The issue with shirts, and even with this one, guys, is a reason why we haven't done domestic, like commercial printing, is just like the quality runs sometimes. I don't know if you guys won't be able to see, but like some of the ink and stuff like runs a little bit. So we don't want to be like giving you guys a crappy product. So yeah, could totally do like a bunch of shirts, Joe. Be great.
Yeah. Fans, yes, agreed.
Yep.
Goey's tempting me. Well, you're the
Do it.
blind supporter, God.
Do it. Do it. Make it happen, mate. If you want to pick him, pick him.
Goey was down at the farm. Oh, jeez. We were talking earlier about North needing key defenders. I hear Stephen May is now available. That's true, Stephen May.
Oh, he'd be great for the attitude at North Melbourne, wouldn't he? Like, really good to help the young guys, kind of teach them how they should behave and how well they should access is not the right word, but how well they should be. Hey, doing stuff on. Like I said, it's a no. It's a no, thanks. No,
jeez, yeah. Writing was on the wall, absolutely. Sydney, yeah. Well, Sydney had to pay up because, Kerno's a multi-common medalist.
He's fantastic. Yeah,
and they're happy to pay for it. They're happy to pay it, and you saw him when the Swans got the deal done. They were all like, yes. They were all so happy because, they know they had to pay a lot, but they know they were getting someone who was a super talent, and he's going to straighten them up so much. Him getting hit on the chest, like that's what they were dying for, the Swans. They've got so many good kicks in that team, but no one to kick the ball to. Him and Logan McDonald will make a great duo, and that's a big reason why everyone's anticipating the Swans to rise up the ladder so much this year, because their players are back, and they've got a guy who could win the Coleman again. DPP De Goey got him in flex. There you go, Ian. Very nice, very nice. Darling will be phased out. He should be. How old is Jack Darling these days?
Oh, he's so fit though, Joe. He could play. He could play.
Bro, I don't care about his spouse. What? Why is Google showing me the spouse? I don't want to know who his spouse is. Hopefully they live long, happy lives together. But, that's a bit personal. Google. Give me his age, sure. Well, give me his height. Give me his height.
Scroll down. Does it say in the about section? Just scroll down a tiny bit. There you go. That's all this stuff. There it is.
Again, spouse. They put this. Yeah. They put this. Nah.
Of course they do.
It's not right in my opinion. There's no need to go straight for that sort of information. You guys going to do any team reviews for us meatheads in the next few days?
Interesting you say that. So, on Wednesday, I'm going to put out another Facebook/Twitter message, similar to what we had before. And then Wednesday next week. So, Monday, you guys are in for a treat next week. Legitimately. You're in for a bloody treat. This is how much we like you guys and like the community. Monday, normal live stream. Tuesday, members live stream. Wednesday, rate your team live stream. So you guys have a whole entire week to put in your teams, show us up, chuck them in, let us know, hey, I've potentially made changes or not made changes. I might do it. So when's the last round 0 game? That's what we're going to do.
That's Sunday at 7.
So it's Sunday, right? So on Monday, I'm going to put a link up on Monday saying, hey, post your team, Facebook or Twitter, on the links like we had it before. And 100% Wednesday live stream, 8 o'clock. We're going to go through all of the teams posted on both and give our thoughts. We might live stream till 4 a.m. We'll see what Joe might call in sick next Thursday. But it will be it'll be quad stream, 4 streams, Joe. Back to back because we've got the drive home on Thursday because it'll be the first day of round 0. So of round 1. So 4 streams back to back that week, boys and girls. It's going to be interesting. By the Thursday, we're going to be cooked. But yeah, quad stream next week. So yeah, should be fun. But I'll put out a link on Monday just so it gives you guys enough time to kind of put in your final teams once the round 0 changes happen. So yeah, there you go.
Also, just so happens on Sunday, the 8th of March, is also the
So it's almost like 5 streams, Joe.
It's almost like 5
It's
streams.
almost like you can see us 5 days in a row.
Children of all ages. There is, of course. Go. You click the button.
All
right, fine. I'll click the button. There is, of course, the Coaches Panel live event on the Sunday the 8th, which Jez and I will be there at, as well as, of course, as you can see, MJ, Mini Monk, DR, Pommy and Oz, Dylan Alexander, a lot of very cool people are going to be at this live event. So, yeah, if you are there and you see us there, you basically have got 5 streams in a row. 5 days of seeing our ugly mugs. All right. No, actually, no. Jez is not ugly mug. My ugly mug and Jez's sexy beard. So you got a lot of our faces coming up. So yes, I hope you don't mind looking at them, because you might get
5
sick
days
of
in
them.
a row. Holy moly!
You might get sick of them pretty quick.
There you go.
Let's see when we're up to now.
Maltesing. We're actually watching the game after. So the live stream's on. So the event's going to be on, and then we're actually going to watch the game live as well. So we're not going to be in the stadium, but if you want to come and watch the game, come to the Coaches Panel event. The game will be up on the TV. We'll all scream and yell and do whatever. So, might be worth it for you.
100%.
Hey, it'll be good to meet you in person.
For sure. It was good to see you obviously spoken to you on the members stream, which was obviously very nice, but it's not quite the same to meeting up in person for sure. Flash, Marshall was a bit too priced to be a bench. Yes, at 197k. Adamo, Bruin was defensive mid. He'll get a job every week in that back line. He'll get Bailey Humphrey or Track, then Murphy Reed, then Rochelle, then Ginnivan. He's a trap. He's a trap, he says, and I tend to agree with you, Adamo. I do fear the trapness of him. All right, Mark, forward line set. Centre, Bont, Dacos, Heaney, Walsh, Young, Parrish. Is that Bruce Reville?
Bruce Reville.
Smith, Jagger Smith, Artie Jones. Hey, like Artie Jones. I do like
Artie
him.
Jones is great. He's not Bruce Reville, though.
Lameyes is great, too. Bruce Reville.
Mark, you're funny.
Mark, why am I not surprised you're throwing me for a bloody 242k? Bruce Reville. I personally wouldn't. Personally, I would not. Let's have a look at this game. It was Bruce Reville. What did he do? Why are you picking him? Because he turned up. All right, I see what you mean. 20 disposals at 87%.
He played a good game.
He played a very good game.
It's a no from me.
Yeah. Mark, watch him round 0, and then you'll see what we're talking about. I have Blakey D4. Love Blakey at D4. Nash, Sinclair, and I was here tinkering with my team causer, and you're right. I have been tinkering with what's his face in the midfield. I have been tinkering with Rosie in the midfield. So, yeah, might be interesting to see. Have I disappeared again?
Yeah, you have. Sorry, Joe. I don't know what you're pressing. Like you're alt-tabbing or something, and then it goes a bit funny.
I'll be back.
Theo, thoughts on Windsor? How are you fellas? Look, I really like Caleb Windsor. I think, at least personally, he's getting a lot of CBAs. Seems to be playing that mid role. There is a spot for him to play. And I think that they really need to blood the kids. So if it's not Windsor, it's Lindsay. But I do think that they're going to play them as much as they can. So, yeah, not bad for the price. You can't, if it doesn't work out, you spend 10K, you go to Blackiston, that you can pivot pretty easily with that price. Or doesn't work out and there's a rookie you don't have, just chuck on the rookie. So, cool, I spent one trade for my pod that wasn't great. Doesn't matter, at least I still make some money. So, yeah, not too bad. Took took so long, but got Naz, Butters, Rankin, Redmond, and Parrish, also Myers.
Nice.
I think Myers is injured.
Not nice. No, but he'll come back.
Yeah, he should come back.
So
Applies to play in the weather. Shows he'll not get a game this year. I'm sorry, over our bad kicking skills. Yeah. And that's just what happens when your rookies start to take over, unfortunately. But North Melbourne got the win. So probably our only win against you guys all year. So we'll take it. But yeah, just what happens when you're playing your VFL team. You gave it a crack 100%. You probably should have won. That last 2 minutes, we did not deserve to win that game. Would rather a 280K trap. Yep, over a 420K trap, committing less.
Who's a 420K trap?
I don't know. Somebody.
Name drop. Name and shame, Cap and Flash. Name and shame. Being a North supporter, you're used to disappointments. So no.
100%. It sucks. It sucks. It really sucks. But you hope that the team's getting better, and then it sucks. So, yeah, it's not great.
So annoying. West Coast Shop and Change rookies, rather avoid them. Yeah. I think that's why I don't have many Eagles. I've only got Dev Rob and Lindsay. Those are the only two that I've got. They have to pump games into Lindsay. And Dev Rob is one of their good midfielders at the moment. So
yeah. I would be very, very careful with picking anyone who isn't one of the couple. Picking like anyone who's not Dev Rob and picking anyone who's not Lindsay, because I think both of those are penciled in. Even McRae, I think, could go. We saw so many times last year where like Bo Allen and a few other players were like in and out of the team. I mean, even Schoenberg's necked himself now and he's out for round 0. So, they're not super consistent, I think. They'll play the kids, but they'll play all the kids, which is not great for us.
Schoenberg is a little ass, but that's just... Jordy Perry, I've been burned too. Yeah, I hear you. He's a perennial burn man, for sure. Maltese in North have no problem getting the pill, but decision-making is not good. Same with pipe players.
100%.
Timothea, Allen. Timothea gone this year. Allen trade bait for Freo or West Coast.
Yeah, 1,000%, and it's always our issue. We'll regularly win the contested ball and do really well in the contest, but then it's our decision-making and our ability to really be effective with the ball. It's a big problem for us in the forward line too, because we'll generally look to try and set up a kick and then a kick mark in front of the forward 50 instead of actually just kicking it, which obviously causes its own issues again. So yeah, it's not great, and I hate it. I constantly yell at the TV, please kick the ball, and they never do. So
yeah, it's a good shout, Maltesing. He does look really good on ball, Archie. He does definitely. He's got like a Bomber Thompson vibe all over him. For obviously you get the reference, but he's really good. I do like him. He is a hard nut. He does give away a few unnecessary free kicks for after the ball's been disposed, which definitely sucks. But he's a pressure type of player. He is clean with the ball. Got great composure. I just don't know how much this role will persist, because we hardly had Merritt at all at the centre bounces in this game. Like, Merritt was basically playing either in the back line or in the forward line. Like, Merritt had almost no time on ball, and that's obviously not Merritt's best position if we want to get the best out of him. So I don't know. And obviously Parrish is not getting pushed out of that midfield either. Roberts has always been a defender, playing off half back. He's only just moved into the midfield in that game against Richmond because Merritt wasn't here, because Merritt was at State of Origin, and now he played it again. So I don't really know if this role persists or not. For that reason, I can't tell you guys, yes, pick him. because I don't know what we're going to do with him, because Zach Johnson has sort of moved into that half-back role where Roberts was. And Johnson looks really good. He's got great ball use, great composure. I know a lot of Essendon supporters want to see him play. He was the youngest kid in last year's draft and had an injury-interrupted preseason. This year, he hasn't had that. This year, he's had a full preseason, and his good kicking is on display. So there will be a question for Brad if he wants to keep Johnson in the team. If he does, then Roberts could continue to play midfield, which means that Zach Merritt is absolutely not a selection as a result. But if
and could get stuck playing forward.
Exactly, and could get DPP. So Merritt forward DPP would be kind of crazy, but almost then a must-have trade in later down the track. So it's a shame we don't play round 0, to be able to see if that role sticks.
Which is why, so right now we've penciled Marshall is probably getting DPP, potentially Zach Merritt getting DPP. This is why I'm very, very happy to just load up my forward line with like 3 primos and then just assess as we go. Because it looks like we could easily get quite a few primos early on. Because it's a lot harder to get DPP rounds like 12 and then 18 than it is compared to get it round 6. I think we could be getting some early DPP very, very quickly. So don't feel like, I've got to get Fraser, I've got to get Pickett, I've got to get all these guys. Our forward line rookies are the best. And we're going to get DPP pretty early, I think. So, yeah.
Anyone on Georgiades?
I really like him. I think he's fantastic, and he's going to kick goals. I kind of spoke about it in the in the Port review game. He kicked 6 goals, but if you look at his early run, there's no one that's going to stop him in the forward lines. Who at North Melbourne is going to stop Mitch? Nobody. Who at Essendon is going to stop Mitch? Probably no one. Who at West Coast is going to stop him? Probably not anyone. Like, the list just goes further down and down. He's going to be the Tex Walker of this year and going to make you a bunch of money early. Like, just straight up.
Let's have a look at that.
Port's run for key forwards is disgusting.
Port. Yeah, no one at North can stop him. We probably don't have anyone that can stop him either because Mackay has a heart. He's a freaking pathetic piece of you-know-what. Yeah. And then the Eagles, no one can stop him there. Richmond. Good luck with that. Yeah, this will be tough.
Yeah. St Kilda, so round 5, okay. And then
this will be tough.
And then it starts to go down. But the first, 4 rounds, he could score 400s pretty easily, I think. He could be leading the Coleman by round 4. Pretty good. Make you that easy bit of money, and then, hey, that's it. So,
what's his price at, Mitch?
380K, I think.
395. Yeah. I'm good, thanks.
That's the only business.
I'm good, thanks, for 395. Yes, absolutely. Looking forward to having you in there, mate. What other small forwards did GWS have? Well, it's probably their best one, which is why as soon as what's his face again? The injured midfielder from the Giants. As soon as he comes back in round 2, Callahan. That's why as soon as Callahan comes back, I do think Toby Green just goes straight to the forward line at that point. I was on late due to a keeper late. All good, Causa. All good. APM members. Yes, absolutely right. APM members here tomorrow for the community team. Yep. Very keen. Very keen. Maltesing. I don't trust Geelong. Bruin will be played all over the place. The benefit is we get to see round 0 against the Suns.
That's the question mark, hey?
Clarkson just likes having someone to talk down to. Oh, jeez. McKercher has a good footy brain. North so need him to keep.
Yeah.
You might have to keep him and not let him go to Tassie.
Yeah. Oh, well, he'll most likely stay. I think he's signed till 2028 anyway. Performance on field is going to dictate a lot of that. He'll get offered a bunch of money. Don't get me wrong, but I think performance on field is going to offer it. His pace is really good. He gets the ball a lot. His disposal efficiency, though, is a bit hit and miss. Sometimes he tries too much and then he kicks it out or kicks it to other players, and he does it at training quite a lot. So it's just something to watch out for a little bit, I think.
You know why? It's not because he's a bad kick.
Well, just the rest of the shit.
Correct. It's because he's demanding the players to do more, to be more. He's not. You have players that will either play and conform to the system around them, or you'll have other players who will try and force the issue. And for me, I think McKercher is a guy who will force the issue. And I know, and that's the only reason why I'm not super 100% confident of starting him, despite the value that he could present, is because if North are going to be shit again this year, and a lot of tipping around in the back line to try and play keepings off and defend with the ball, I'm concerned that he's not going to buy into that. He's going to say, no, this is shit. This is not how we're going to win. We have to do this. And if enough players on his team don't rise with him and don't take on that challenge with him, it could just lead to turnovers, as you say, with missed kicks and stuff. So I really hope, it really sucks for him that he's missed out on these practice games in the preseason to try and keep stamping that type of mentality into his teammates around him, that we have to go. You have to spread. You have to present. I'm a good kick, but you have to get to somewhere where I can deliver you the ball. At the moment, they're happy playing chip with Caleb Daniel. And it's not going to win anything. It's not going to win anything. James Leake, good pod for rookie. Also DPP.
Yeah, it's never been someone for me.
Yeah. 94% disposal efficiency with 86% TOG. So basically a dream game. A dream game for him. And he scored 68. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah. Plus the early buy. So, yeah. Not for me, Maltesing, personally. Michael, do you have rough thoughts of what you want the end team to look like? Round 16 buy, where we want Dogs, Cats players for run home. Nass, Sinclair, Flanders, Gorn, Pickett. Might be hard to pick De Koning as well.
Yeah, it's not so much, I like to think about it as, hey, we've got enough trades that navigating the later buys are important, as long as you don't load up too much on round 12. If you remember my original starting team from a couple of weeks ago, I had like 4 or 5 players from round 12, and that was it. As long as you've got a few round 16 guys, you can upgrade and bring in the other guys into your team. If you have any boosts left, which ideally you would hope that you've got 1 or 2, you can now do 4 trades. But at the very least, you can do 3 trades. So you'll always have 18 playing. I don't look at it too much as this is what my final team's going to look like, because we'll get a Matt Rowell at some point, 440K, that you just have to select. And some player will pop up as that kind of player. But it's a good idea to start from it and say, okay, this is the point where I start my team with, 3 or 4 players in every line that I know are going to be the best players. And then you look to build the rest of the team around as those players pop up, as your rookies start to mature in price and things like that. The beautiful thing about Supercoach and starting your team is that you'll never have $10 million again. So you can always start the players you want to start. You'll have ideas and be like, hey, I want Geelong players after their bye because the last 4 games are really good. Or, hey, middle of the season, it's nice to have these players because their run's really good. They play West Coast, Richmond, North, whatever. But start the players you want to start. Start the early buy players. So start the best early round players as much as you can, within reason, of course, taking into account early buys and whatnot. And then really just go from there. It is a trading game. Players will pop up, will pop down. Players will come out of nowhere. You don't know what your team's going to look like because the DPP is happening. We could get, a bunch of guys with DPP really early. And then they kind of just lock in. So it's hard to predict. Yeah, but you just want
Yeah,
to
I'm
make
not
sure that
ultimately-
your starting team is the best that you can make it, and you navigate the early buys as much as you can, because you don't know what's going to happen by round 12, but you can kind of dictate by round 4 who's playing and who's scoring for me on field as much as you can.
Yeah, I'm not altogether worried about round 16 because by this point, you'll basically you'll have 18. You will basically have 18 primo scores.
Yeah,
at this point, quite comfortable. I'll buy a beanie. Cool.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Spanky.
All right, Spanky.
Lock it in.
Beanies and scarf, 50 each. All right, Mark. Very cool. Very cool. Get that bag. All right, God's in it as well. But the beanie with the center bounce colors would be so ugly with the colors.
We've actually done a couple and they look okay. So it's just about figuring out kind of what it's going to be. But yeah, it'll be all right.
One would have to buy it. Okay. $100 for a seat warm up.
You should put one with Joe's face on there so you can sit on our faces. That'd be great. And put it on your chair as like a pillow for your chair. Be like, oh, I get to sit on the guys. We'd sell a lot, Joe.
You want to sit on my face, huh?
Yeah, man. Why not? For the money, let's do it.
Hilarious. Levi? Yeah, no, I'm good. I'll enjoy Levi from a distance. There's just too many chefs in that kitchen, and he won't be.
I think we'll get him DPP.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Be a bit of a different situation.
Leave Mark out of this. Mark is always in this, Spanky. You know by now. Yes. Love it. I love you too. Keep going together. To go apparently starting the pracky a few weeks ago back into GWS. Scary prospect. 100%. Very scary. Will Nuts t-shirt. Hey, Jonas, you know you'll want to buy it. T-shirt with score that Gord scored after Joe said he wasn't picking him. He's got a broken knee. He's got a broken leg. Don't touch him. Drops 200 on me. Still can't believe it was Eagles who got Baker and Owies. Richmond got pick 14. Can't remember who they drafted. And Carlton got Jagger.
Was it Lindsay?
No, it was not. This was last year's draft.
Like Job Shanahan or some rando.
Yeah, I think it was Job. Or was it? Yeah, I think so. Jagger Smith draft pick trade. There you go. They got pick 3. This was insane. They got Jagger Smith involving West Coast and Richmond. So they gave up picks 12, 14, and 73 plus Owies. West Coast got Baker and Owies, 12 and 73. And Richmond got pick 14 for Baker.
Look, Liam Baker walked into that team and won their best and fairest. So as much as we don't like the player, he has been one of their better players. It just sucks. It's probably not worth it, but like, yeah, I don't know. You get your best.
Richmond got Houghton. Richmond potentially got Houghton.
Guys, we probably got about 10 minutes left. It is very late and we have work tomorrow. So,
Adamo, you're a very generous man. Adamo, you don't have to do that at all.
Nah.
None, but appreciate you putting it out there. You're a superstar. Some of these North defenders might need a little Stephen May in them. What? Punching each other's teammates?
Common's got a bit. He just keeps chucking people on the ground and injuring people. And
yeah, he better be. Look, I'm even willing to start him, Jonas, to be honest. I really am. I think there's plenty of upside to the pick. Spouses, 100%. The Spout's getting all the clout for no reason. Why is Google displaying this bullshit information? Unreal. Keen for the first members live stream, mate. I'm so
be there
keen.
tomorrow, buddy.
Be there. 8 p.m. tomorrow will be glorious. Thursday, yes, that's right. That's it. I'm picking. It worked the first time around. Do it again. Why not? Next Tuesday is my birthday, and I can't wait to join you guys after I come back from dinner. Footy is back. Oh, happy birthday, Maltesing.
Lock it in, Maltesing. Sounds good, buddy.
We'll sing a happy birthday on Tuesday. Will be great. Currently have Worrell in at D3. Am I crazy? No, you're not crazy.
No, you're not crazy. I would probably have him at D4 because it means you're missing out on one of Sinclair, Walsh, Rosie. Sorry, not Walsh. Sinclair, Nass, Whitfield, Rosie, who I think are just so good you kind of have to put them into your team. But you're not crazy. It's just like they're really good players, man. It's hard to kind of say no to those guys, I think.
You may as well do a 24/7 stream. Basically, just turn into the Truman Show. Just record us whilst we're sleeping. 100%. We did not discuss this. He says we were speaking about it. Bullshit. He just dropped this on me like crazy. All this streaming nonsense. We're looking for Joe in a gutter. I'll be dead.
It just kind of added up, Joe. It was like, oh, Sunday we're doing this. Hey, at least on Monday you get a day off, right? Because Monday is public holiday, so it's not so bad. You get Monday off. Maybe Monday we'll do. No, I'm just gonna say 24-hour live stream on Monday. It's not gonna happen, boys and girls.
That's fine. Why is no one talking about Jordan Clark? What? Bro, did you not watch my team? It's been in my team the last 2 videos.
I don't mind the pick, but I think you're always just going to get like around that price. So I don't think the ceiling's as high as what maybe we're thinking. Ryan didn't play last week and Clark only scored like a 90 odd. It is another thing as well. And that's including a goal. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think you'll always be able to get Jordan Clark at that price. So the pick itself doesn't become as rewarding to start. That's kind of the reasoning a little bit there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he had one goal, sure.
Yeah.
76% TOG. He normally has a bit more than that.
Yeah,
and he only had the 18 disposals. Like, what does Jordan Clark normally average in terms of disposals? Like, he's normally a 20-plus kind of guy, no?
I think so.
He's more like a 25, I reckon. So he's just going through the motions in these pracky games. He's not going all out. I do personally like the Jordan Clark selections, considering that there is no early buy as well. So he doesn't have to average as much as a Whitfield or a Nass or a Sinclair to be a good pick for you, considering that he doesn't have that early buy. And I do think that he's going to... What did Jordan Clark average last year? I mean, Jordan Clark...
Just over 100, maybe?
He's priced at 568. Yeah, he averaged 105. And that was with Ryan in the team. So if Ryan's out and he's the guy, you should be able to anticipate, a couple of extra kicks more per game. So yeah, it's possible for him to average 110. I don't see why not. Plus no early buy. So yeah, I mean he's been in my team the last couple of videos, Adamo. So I don't think he'll be pushing top 3. I think the top 3, maybe top 4 are set in terms of Nass, Sinclair, Whitfield, Rosie. So I think those are the top 4. So he's pushing for maybe D5 and D6.
But then is he better than Blakey? Is he better than Blakey? Is he better than Ash? Is he better than like a Zorko or?
Well, all those guys have a buy.
Oh yeah, that's it too.
So he's playing an extra game. So that's what he's got in his favor as well. If he can go 110 plus no buy, it's a great combination. That's if. I wish I could be at the coach panel playing tennis in Cobram this weekend, so I couldn't go. All good, Causa. Have fun with the tennis. Avoid the elbow. My favourite locks are Butters, Jagger, and Shees. We love some Shees.
Yeah, he's so good, man. I said it before, but we do not deserve Shees all at North Melbourne. This kid is just so good. I mean, like, we didn't do well with the Dersma pick. I think the Wardlaw selection is great, but you really hope that he gets his body right. But Sheasel, man, this kid is just so good at AFL. The fact that he's not more highly rated is just a travesty, I think, Joe. Like, he would slot in and be the best, best 3-4 players at some clubs, just walking straight in. Doesn't get the respect that he deserves. I mean, people say North Melbourne has no A graders. It's like, Sheasel just broke the game's touches record. Like, come on, guys.
He's a gun. He's a gun. Might rock up before I go to the G. Nice, God. It'll be good to see you, man. I'm wearing my 1980 duffel jacket. Wow. Very nice. Could Whiffle be a bad pick? Asks Lachlan Hurley, with the injury to GWS, making him move further down the field and scoring more volatile. If so, does that make Ash better?
Look, it's something that I've really considered. I'm hoping that with Callahan playing, hopefully, that he ends up being an okay selection down back. I don't think he'll lose his kick-outs and things like that. But it is a very minor concern. Similar to what we've spoken a little bit about Luke Jackson, about being able to play multiple roles and things like that. If Whitfield could only play halfback, where would he be? Only in halfback. It's the fact that he can play a few other positions that the versatility is not great. But yeah, and Joe's struggling, I think, with the heat.
Yeah, I'm using my Kindle as a fan at the moment. Bloody hell, it's really hot in my room.
I have a little tiny fan from Kmart, but I think it's too noisy on the microphone. So I'm just like, yeah.
Fair enough. Hey, Dan, how we doing? The Stafford brothers. What are your thoughts on Farrow for us? I love Jacob Farrow. I think he's got class and ball use and composure that we just don't have a lot of in the side.
Is there a reason why he didn't get as many touches on the weekend, Joe?
He's
him and Sharp looked a bit.
Look, he's not much of an accumulator, but at the same time, he only played in the second half.
Yeah.
So Sharp didn't play not Sharp. Farrow did not play the first half. He came on in the second half. So when you take that into account, he had 11 disposals and scored 52 Supercoach in a half of football. And he's a great kick to handball ratio, as you can see. He's an 11 kick 3. He's handball kick. What am I looking at? Only had 3 kicks and 8 handballs. And kicking is this guy's special ability. And he still scored 52 Supercoach. So he's got class and composure. What's this 7 supposed to be? Contested possessions. Love Jacob Farrow. I think he just simply has to play for us, to be honest. 91% disposal efficiency. I think he just has to play. There's a reason why we picked him so high up in the draft. And he really fits an important need for us. He'll probably play wing, rotating between wing and the back line, depending on what the rotations are like. I think at that price, with no early buy, if he's named round 1, I think pick him. The DPP is really good, and it can help with buy coverage, especially if you've got, Grill, for example, between midfield and defense. There's a few players that have got early buys in the back line, but I really like Farrow. I think if you've got the money, I think you should pay it. He'll play every week, barring injury. We'll pump games into him, and he's a beautiful ball user. We got smacked by 40 points. You know what I mean? We got smacked by 43 points, and the kid still scored very well. Sharp, you know what you're going to get from Sharp. He's playing as that high half forward, occasionally on ball, but he's mainly going to be playing high half forward. We do have a lot of midfields, as Jonas mentioned before. So I'm happy to start Sharp. If he's going to give us 60s every week at that price, will make us his money. But Farrow as well, only 52 off 11 disposals is very impressive. I think if you got the cash for him, buy him. It's been 6 years since North have been at the bottom 4 and 10 years since finals.
Yeah. It's pretty sad, Corey.
Like Constantine could have gone for a goal and he passes it off. Yeah.
His first and second actions are fantastic. Like he actually tries on field and his pressure's pretty good. That's why we pick him every week. But his goal kicking and goal sense, man, it's just a pain in the butt. 53% disposal efficiency just isn't good. Yeah, and it's not outweighed by the amount of tackles he gets every week on field, so it's not good.
Well, do you try to pass it over the? Yeah. It's poor skills, and poor execution. Poor teams. You need more than 2 to 3 players in the mid. Rotations are critical. Yeah, I mean, we do have plenty of people going through the midfield though. If we've got Holdwell and Merritt and Parrish and Sharp and Durham, we've got a few people going through there already. And when Kako comes back, he'll also have stints running on ball as well. So we do have quite a few players going through that midfield already as it is. So we'll see. But I do think, I hope Zach Johnson plays. Mark, I love what I saw from him. He was probably our most composed player in the back line. The kid, it's insane. Merritt plays forward, drops in price, gets CPP for next year, and gets traded to the Hawks for max CBAs next year. It's 100%. Start Merritt next year. He will be bloody bargain price.
Or Merritt gets forward first. Essendon really suck. We get him as DPP, and then he plays back in the midfield in his preferred position, and then we get a gem at like a cheaper price.
Exactly.
That's what I'm hoping.
Merritt is playing the middle, 100%. James, agreed. Joe pillow to sleep on. Oh my god. Causa, that's whoopee cushion. Absolutely, that right up your alley, Maltesing, 100%. The octopus from the World Cup gave me the ruck answers. English, McAndrew, and Reedy. Here, I agree. Crimson, how wild of a risk is having Parrish? Oh, I got flex. As long as you're fielding good players, as long as you don't have any shit players on the field, you're good.
Yep.
That's all I care about. Hey, Woody, good to see you, Woody. North need 5 to 6 defenders and they're back.
Yeah. We like Comben is okay, right? Let's not kid ourselves. Comben is okay. McKercher is okay. Hardiman is okay as a number 3, as a halfback player. It's just like the keys, the tools there that have no structure, the guys that are there that just aren't doing what we need them to do. That's the big problem with North Melbourne down back. If we could have got, heck, we were looking at Cal Wilkie as potentially a trade-in target. We looked at Tyler Young as a trade-in target. We looked at a bunch of players as a trade-in target. Like, if we can just get our backline settled so it's not a case of, if you get us out of position, then we're cooked. If you kick it into the forward line, then we're cooked. Then, yeah. It's rough.
Fuck the merch all over Rundle Hall. Cheers, Spanky.
Big market,
mate. Take it a dandy market. Do you legends hold the record for the longest AFL Supercoach stream? How many hours?
I don't know.
Come back to us next week. I think we'll have a new record next week. I mean, does the live watch-alongs count? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they're like 3 hours, but
100% Maltesing. Hey, Uncle Akka,
What's up, mate?
is Big Brother. Bounced him to the diary room?
Yeah, don't you remember Big Brother, Joe?
I never watched Big Brother.
So they lock the people in the house, right? And then they every so often they'll get one of the people and they'll put them in like a special room that's off to the side where like they can talk about their deep dark desires and that kind of stuff. And it was called the diary room. And sometimes sometimes people would get told off for doing different things, or hey, this is going to be a secret, blah 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 blah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've been told by people that I should try and apply for Gogglebox because my reactions would be the most ridiculous things out there. But yeah, I don't know how I'd get onto that. He didn't even get picked. Yeah, Sheasel didn't even get picked in top 50. That's insane.
Yeah, I knew someone that won some money once on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That was cool. He was just one of those people, Joe, that was like number 8 in the order, and they got rid of everybody else in front of him, and then he was like the last question. It's like, oh, cool. There you go.
What the hell? This Billy Bennett needs more panache. Like, your car is parked illegally, or your Chinese meal is ready, or have you talked to your missus in the last few weeks? I love it. Wow, this phone is awesome, mate. Mr. Spanky, you're spanking the crap out of that keyboard. She just plays like a seagull. Here's a gun. What's happening tomorrow? Members live stream, Uncle Akka. Starts up tomorrow. That's a pretty good.
If you want to renew your membership, then you can jump on tomorrow.
That's what he said. Parrish, yes or nah? Look, Parrish had the most CBAs, the most clearances. He only went at 48% disposal efficiency and missed 2 very easy goals. I think that's probably the worst ball use you'll see in a long time. I doubt he'll replicate that, would he? Ultimately, what you wanted to see was that he got through the preseason and that he had the role and that he was the centre bounce dude, which he is. So for me, I'm not concerned. Yeah. Yes.
The only reason why you probably wouldn't pick him is the price is really good. It just depends, like, how deep are you going in that forward line? Do you prefer Young over him if you're going, like, Young at M6 and you don't have money for an M7? That would probably be my only consideration out of the two, I think. But you're probably going to pick Parrish.
Lads, hear me out just for 1 second. Just 1 second. Can McCreary make 150K if he plays 75-25 mid-forward split? Yeah, but you know he's not going to do that, God. You do know who you guys were missing on the weekend, right?
He's too expensive. Bo McCreary, 314K. It is too much.
Yeah, but like you just know that he's not going to have that much time on.
You just want to pick Bo McCreary. That's why.
Yeah, look, if you really want to pick Bo McCreary, then go for him. But I just can't see him having that much of a 75% mid time. I cannot see that happening. No way, Jose. Griffin Logue is so overrated. Who's overrating? Yeah. Who's even rating Griffin Logue to begin with?
Pretty true.
I'm not even sure. His mum does. Yeah, I was probs over the top there, but they're actually close. Just need a few more. Yeah.
The thing with Griffin Logue, right, is that he wasn't good enough to play defense at Freo, even though they had positions. So then he ended up having to play forward. And then he left the club because he wanted to play defense, but he was actually a forward. So it's like, well, no wonder he's not so great because he's only played like 50 games or something when he came to North Melbourne. So it was more a pick of opportunity that we've just been stuck with. And we keep recontracting, unfortunately.
Well, he had a couple of great marks, one-handed over the top.
Yeah, like he can do some things, but he plays like a guy that hasn't really played much defense. And the problem is he's getting old now, so it's not like, you know, you want him to be that established player for your club, but he can't be. So, oh well.
Finn Sullivan, the players watching us, well done on the weekend, mate. 99 Supercoach points, did very, very well.
There you go.
Pre-season game versus Melbourne. Simpkin kicked inside 50. Sheezer on the lead, but the kick went over Sheezer's head and he got crunched. Skills remain a major concern.
Yeah, and he does it at training, which is the crazy thing. We continue to play him, but he does it at training. Like, I know that the joke was that, hey, Essendon were only offering a second rounder. I would have taken the second rounder for Simpkin and just said, hey, let's find someone else that can cover the position because he's a major liability. We'll give him 30 touches, but 10 of them will be shanks that lead to turnovers that lead to opposition goals that happen on the weekend. Like, it is rough to watch him. And he acts like he's really good at football too. Like, yeah, I got 28 touches, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, half your kicks that went out went to the opposition, mate. Like, settle down. Yeah, he's not that great. I think he's too young. Jordy, I think he's too young.
Bro, I just don't like watching trash TV. The same way I have never watched maths. I obviously know what maths is, but I refuse to watch crap TV, all right? My time is valuable, That's why I never watched wrestling either. All right, shots fired. West Coast got Baker, Owies, and Bo Allen for Jagger. Mind you, Kangaroos passed on Jagger and took Foss at pick 2. How the fudge did you guys stuff that up so badly? If West Coast took him, he's not Jagger Smith though.
Foss is a good player.
He's not Jagger Smith level.
No, he's not Jagger Smith. Jagger Smith would have been great. But Foss, it's like you're not discounting Foss.
No, but he's not as good as Jagger. If West Coast, like, in my opinion, when you've got a top 5 pick, I don't think you go for needs with top 5. If you have a top 5 pick, you just pick the best available. You don't go for needs. Your needs picks, those are your later picks, not your top ones. The top ones, you're trying to get the best of the best. You're trying to get the creme de la creme, the piece de la resistance.
The issue is you end up like North Melbourne then, and then you've drafted like 10 midfielders, and then none of them play in their preferred position because you've just drafted midfielders because typically it's either midfielders or key forwards that end up in the top 5. That's it. So
but the top ones are midfielders that can push forward and kick goals.
Oh, of course.
As opposed to just fewer mids.
Or you pick Zane Dersma and then he's going to get kicked out of the team.
Yeah, like Zane Dersma, exactly. So if West Coast took Murphy Reid instead of Bo Allen, it would have worked.
Yeah, Murphy Reid is so good. Apparently there was some go-home factor or something with Murphy Reid. That's why they were a bit worried about him.
Right, okay. Makes sense. Interesting. Very interesting.
I was watching True Footy was talking about it.
One commentator. Yeah. I love Ken. He was doing our game, and I was really impressed. He doesn't say a lot, and that's great because he limits himself to saying good shit. You know what I mean? So he doesn't talk a lot, but when he speaks, it's gold. I do really like Hinkley, and I think he's a great get. Absolutely.
Guys,
Crimson.
if you haven't already, please smash that like, share, subscribe button. It does more to us than what you guys know, and it obviously is just like 2 seconds of your time. So even if you're subbed, just smash that like button. We currently have 127 people watching. So thank you very much for spending your Monday nights with us.
100%, because, we're not going to be around for much longer. 2 hours and 43 minutes in the books, ladies and gentlemen. Crimson. Mids are Butters, and you've got work tomorrow, yeah. Mids are Butters, McCluggage, Golden, Walsh, LDU, Steele, Young, and Parrish. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is a full midfield. And then you've got Jagger in the flex.
Jagger at flex, yeah.
Amazing. McCluggage, Golden, Walsh, and Steele. All with early buys, though.
No, it's only 7.
Huh?
It's only 7. So he's got McCluggage at M8.
Yeah,
sorry,
so
not M8. Jagger at M8.
Yeah, no. So got McCluggage, Golden, Walsh, and Steele.
Yep.
4 of them have got early buys. So that's McCluggage and Walsh share a buy.
Steele doesn't have an early buy. Only McCluggage. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't play
changed
for
clubs
anymore. Yeah,
he changed clubs, mate.
Changed clubs. My bad. Mi dispiace. So it's just McCluggage and Walsh over here, and Golden. Yeah, this works. That works. Very nice. I love it. Very deep. Very deep. Depends how I would love to see how you go with the other lines too. But it's Butters, McCluggage, Golden, Walsh, LDU, Steele, Young, and Parrish. Bro, you can't count. It's 8. It's 8 there, mate.
Young, go
right.
back.
Read the names.
Young, Parrish, Steele.
Butters.
I
McCluggage.
missed Butters because I saw McCluggage. I saw McCluggage with the capitals. So I'm like, I missed Butters. I'm like, hey, Sorry, that's my fault. Hand up. That's me.
This guy can't read or count. Great.
Clearly not.
Griff the Lug is a legend. Knows how to get paid.
Bro gets a good haircut too. Tell you what, he's got a fair rig. Just
Centre Bounce about to make headlines with the Ruse young star critical of former captain.
Yeah. That's
what do you think of picking Foss? There you go. Loves him. He's very happy with Foss.
Yeah.
Wait,
I think he's great. I think he's going to end up close to 500K, and we're going to have like a similar, more than like a Harley Reid question about him next year. I think he's going to go from like 300K to close to 5. But is that enough for us to pick him in Supercoach? I'll leave that up to you. Is probably my feeling there. Yeah.
Boom! 130 live viewers. Oh, big rec. I told you, Jez, we're gonna have a big turnout tonight. I could feel it.
There you go.
Kobe, completely agree about Harry Shazer. Was such an elite player last season. I think round 23 average 50 disposal. That's so good. 100%. It's very, very good. 133 now viewers. This is insane. Thank you all so much.
Yeah. And shout out to the 71 viewers that are currently watching us out on Twitter as well, Joe. New platform for us to jump on, but shout out to you Twitter people. If you guys are watching, I think there's a little bit of issues with Twitter people being able to comment on here. But yeah, shout out to you guys on Twitter.
Well, hopefully I get that fixed.
We appreciate you.
Stage. Simkin, I remember calling with you, Big J, a long time ago, like 2-3 years ago. So we said that he shouldn't play, same as Luke McDonald.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Simkin's one of those players that you just can't have in a team that you want to go further. He would be like top 10 in North Melbourne's team, but bottom 10 in a team that's competing for finals. You know, maybe he plays best 23, but he's their fourth worst player on field. Like, he'll get a bunch of touches, but isn't that great with the ball and gets pushed around too much because he's really scrawny. I think he's only 70-something kilos. I think he's like 78 kilos. So he's trying to compete with mids that are 20 kilos more than him at times. So, yeah, it's a bit God, I would say he is very similar to McCluggage and should end up playing a bit of a McCluggage type role for North Melbourne. I think that's why we kind of picked him up, for that kind of role. It's very good.
Not playing Supercoach this year, but I'll do on game night to boost the ratings, get you guys up to 3K. Cheers, Akka.
Oh,
You're
cheers,
good, mate.
You should play Supercoach. Just play casual. Like, there's no... Just make a team. Doesn't matter. And then, like, 5 minutes every week. You don't have to take it too seriously.
Don't think. Do.
Yeah.
Poor Jagger, so much hype, and he hasn't even played an AFL game yet. He's already better than 3/4 of the league. He's already better than every player on his team, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's probably top 5 at Carlton, let's be honest.
We went Jacob Edwards over Newcomb as well.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
We
MJ!
did some dumb stuff. How you going, MJ?
Can't wait to see you Sunday. It should be a blast. Wrestling isn't trash TV, Joe. That's a sport.
Did you see, Joe, before we finish, did you see that the AFL wants to put AFL in the Olympics? Did you see that?
LOL.
Yeah, the Brisbane Olympics that's coming up in 2032. They're trying to get AFL as a sport in the Brisbane Olympics.
Who are we competing against in the Olympics? That's a worldwide comp.
Because someone was saying, like, oh, America's trying to get flag football or something like that. But yeah, it's all over the I'll see if I can find it. Yeah, it's on the AFL. If you just jump on the AFL website, just quickly, you'll see it there.
What they should introduce into the Olympics is ultimate frisbee. That I'll watch.
No. On the ultimate frisbee. There you go. That one. Just on the fourth one. Yep.
Bro, who the fish is going to beat us at this game?
We could give other teams players, Joe, just to even them out. Be like, Mason Cox, you're still playing. You can go play for USA. You know, Ireland would have a half decent team for all the players that are there. But yeah, maybe clubs will. It's a good way to develop the sport around the world. You know, people want to make AFL teams.
Bro, what we should be doing is playing the grand final as the lead up to this game, as in the opening ceremony. The opening ceremony should be half the 1/3 of the countries get announced pre-game, pre-grand final, halftime show. We get another third of clubs, and then post-game we'll get the final third to come out. Like, it should be centered around the grand final, top notch. We should be pushing forward the grand final to be as big as the Super Bowl. 100%. Brimton, trust me, you steals money elsewhere. Love the dude. Yeah, well, there you go. Mr. Saint himself is telling you about that. Aussie would easily win gold for sure. Maybe he'll average 115 before he turns to dust. That'd be pretty good. At least all the strong will actually have a use.
There you go, Joe.
Yeah, force bot and a little bit of pay for it. I love it. And Massimo D'Ambrosio. Many changes to both your teams? Not really.
Yeah, I need to do a team review. Was going to do it today, but it's getting a little bit late. Maybe if I go to bed before 12 or get it figured out before then, I'll chuck one up. It's more just rookies, I think, than anything else. Yeah. But coming from that, it's a few like mid prices that I want to put in my team that really change kind of what the other picks are because you just need money. Right, so it's like, I want Tanner Brewer now. He's got a role. Or, Caleb Windsor. Or Blackiston if you don't have him, for example. Those guys coming in, which means that you've got to move rookies out of the way to be able to do that. So, yeah, that's probably the major thing. The guys on field, the structure and stuff like that really hasn't changed. Maybe Luke Jackson, get rid of him, chuck in English, but then that adds more round 3 guys. So it's just a bit of a play around with at the moment. But the beautiful thing is we don't need to make the decision because it's not round 1 tomorrow. All right, then. And we lost Joe again.
3 times. 3 times in the one stream that's happened. All right. Clearly,
I think that's us, guys. We have been streaming 2 hours and 52 minutes. So thank you very much for everyone who's jumped on. Thank you for you guys, Captain Flash, who've jumped on the membership. If you guys are interested, members live stream tomorrow at 8. And then, Joe, big question is, are we doing the drive home this week? Is that happening or are we doing it for round 1?
I mean, we can do it. I mean, we can.
All right. Drive home. You've heard it here, guys. Drive home 5:30 on Thursday. Team sheets, talking about lots of Supercoach, talking everything. Should be a lot of fun. Keep an eye out as well. Get your teams ready over the weekend if this is the last time that we see you guys, because we will be putting out our Rate Your Team messages on Monday and then doing Rate Your Team on Wednesday for live stream. So, yeah, it should be good.
100%, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, I died for a second, but I'm back. The quickest resurrection in the history of the world. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It was an absolute blast having so many of you on tonight, which was excellent. As you can tell, and you might have heard, there is heaps of content still to come. We will be dead. We will be skeletons at the end, but it will be worth it because over here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work so that you guys don't have to, and we look forward to seeing you on the flip side.
Guys, if you haven't already, buy your tickets for the Coaches Panel live event coming up this Sunday. MJ, Mini Monk, DR, Pommy, Dylan Alexander, Joe and I, plus a few other content creators will be there. Get a free drink upon entry, and it should be a lot of fun. And we get to watch the Collingwood St Kilda game afterwards,
which will be absolutely awesome because it's shaping up to be an absolute hell of a contest between Nas and Dacos. Ken Hinkley has already declared Nas the most exciting player in the comp, the best ahead of Nick Dacos. So there's going to be a lot of fire in that game. And it'll be interesting to see just how much attention they put into Nas and how Nas handles that pressure. could actually be the biggest blessing in the world to get a real reading as to what sort of attention and how NAS responds to that. So look forward to it, guys, and we look forward to seeing you all in the next one.
Done. See you guys. Catch up. Bye.
Bye. Are you pressing the button or am I pressing the button?